So you're ready, Andrew?
Ready.
You ready, Jim?
Going
Yes, sir.
again, baby.
Huh? Stunt
Going
guys,
again.
we're born ready.
Fucking
That's
A.
right. We've got to be ready for anything.
We're going again with Jim Lytle, my buddy Jim Lytle. Thank
Jimmy,
you.
baby.
Hey, Jim.
Gentlemen,
Man.
I don't know what to say.
We asked you a year ago.
You did.
And you've been putting us off and putting us off.
And I tried and tried, and it just didn't work.
You just happened to be in town today? Is that what happened?
That's, well, something like that.
That's so good.
No, I actually have been very anxious to do this. Just my world is a little different at home, so often it's not easy for me to get away in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
During the winter, it's a lot easier. So.
Yeah. Speaking of winter, you're not plowing much snow this year.
No, I'm not. I'm winning.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, right?
Well, everything we do is contract, so I get paid no matter what.
Oh,
So I'm buying dinner.
see. Oh, shit. Damn.
You're on. Podcast's over.
Did I say that out loud?
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's
No,
excellent.
and it's, you know what? I've been doing that a long time, and no guilt. Because you win some years and you lose some years.
Yeah. What's the name of your company? What do you do?
It's Lawn Rangers is my little property maintenance business I've had since 1984.
Oh, that's a fun title.
Yeah,
The Lawn Ranger.
yeah.
Do you leave back a little silver bullet when you?
And our logo is first in Lawn and Order.
Oh.
Hey?
Oh my.
What do you think about that?
I've never had your business card personally, so I've never known that. The Lawn Rangers.
Yeah, yeah.
The first.
And
in
it
Lawn and Order.
started out as a weed and feed company.
Yeah.
I started it in 1984. My first year, I had 1,100 customers.
Jesus.
And how did I do it?
Yeah.
Just quickly, I did 20,000 handwritten quotes in a particular area. In this case, it started in Scarborough. And
What?
yep,
Just okay. 20,000
20,000.
handwritten.
Yep. We had the
So,
quote
so your
sheets.
wife was really busy.
Actually, I wasn't married then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was. That was 40 years ago.
Wow.
So, again, I know we're kind of not on the stunt topic.
No,
However,
we don't have to be talking about. We want to talk
man,
about Jim
yeah.
Lytle.
okay. So, what I did was, you go to the public library and you can get what are called the
Now, for the younger folks, a public library is a big building that used to house a lot of books that you could take out and read and bring back.
do they still have them? Are they around now?
No, I don't think so.
Actually, quick sidebar. I was at U of T last Wednesday visiting Spence.
Yeah.
We played a little squash.
Yeah.
Sweet.
You know they have the
Love squash.
biggest library in like the country?
Okay, well, Spence is your son.
Yes,
25 years old.
Yeah.
Brilliant young man. Has he read a lot of those books?
most of them. Yeah.
Awesome.
We might want to cut that out later. No, but we were walking, and this 8-story building, like the size of an office building,
Is a
said, "Oh
library.
yeah, that's the library."
Fuck.
I went, "Oh
Crazy.
my God!"
Wow.
Yeah, so you can access information that shows everybody's name and property size. So based on your property size, I know you got a house and a driveway and a sidewalk.
Okay.
I don't need to come and measure the grass. I can be within, unless you got a pool in the backyard, that changes it. But so I'd have that information, so I'd literally write, Mr. Butcher, 36?
Yeah.
Well, let's tell everyone
yeah.
where I live.
36 XYZ Street in Coboconk, Ontario.
Yeah.
Percent.
Yeah.
And it'd be, here's the price for a 6-step program, 3 fertilizers, 3 weed controls.
Right. For my 4 square yards of lawn.
Yeah. In your case, I would have give you a deal.
Thanks.
But, and then on the card was a postage paid return
Yeah, love it.
thing.
Smart.
And again, we did 20,000 of them.
So
And
why don't you just email? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That was email in those days.
For the young people
I
listening,
had to ride my horse around to, you know.
a
So I had...
tell the young people what a stamp was. Jesus.
No, we hand delivered them.
Wow.
Okay, so I hired, I'm going to use the term secretary because I didn't have a business yet.
Well, it was 1984.
I had a girl. We would drive to the Scarborough Library every morning, spend the whole day there, pack up and go home, and we did that all winter.
Wow.
Then starting in March, I rented a van. This is true. It's going to sound funny. I know you're going to make fun of me.
I have never known you to
I would drive into the area and I'd find some kids in my white van.
What the fuck, Jim?
God.
And I said, do you guys want to make some money on the weekends?
Wow.
I'll give you, I think I said like $10 for the day and I'll buy you lunch.
There's a movie in this.
We'll go to McDonald's. And I said, make sure you get your parents' permission.
Sure.
I'll meet you guys. And I'd say get 2 or 3 of your friends. So I literally got 3, 4, 5 of them sometimes. And they'd usually be 12, 13 years old. And I would give each of them a route, like a street.
A route?
And each had a house number.
Yeah, I get it.
So they just walk down the street and go 36, 38, and then go down the other side of the street and do the odd numbers. And I just kept, this guy's done, and we'd just do that all day. I could do 4,000 or 5,000 flyers in a day, or whatever it was.
That's incredible.
Yep. And then we'd stop. We'd go to McDonald's. And at the end of the day, I'd give them their $10 each.
That that's a lot of work, and businesses today wouldn't do that. They don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Nobody wants to
But
work
it worked.
hard today.
Let me recap: 20,000 handwritten introductions to a company, postage paid. That means they only pay for the people that return.
Correct.
I know, and you tell your wife you're spending the day at the library with your secretary. And then you take your white van out on the street and solicit 12-year-old children.
That's correct.
Wow.
Damn.
What a business.
But it worked. So all of a sudden, and it would be a post office box, would be the address. And these things would start to come in. And a lot of them would have checks in them.
And you said 11,000.
No, 1,100
sorry.
confirmed customers the first year.
Oh, copy.
Out of 20,000 that we hand delivered.
Right.
And I did that for probably a couple of years. Like 2 winters I did that. And then, of course, you get referrals. And we used to go out on Saturdays, and when you were spraying lawns, I'd have 2 guys with me, and they'd go down the street knocking on doors.
Excuse me.
We're on the street. Do you want your lawn sprayed? Yeah, over here. And back then, it would have been like $20. Now it's 50, 60, 70 minimum.
Yeah.
And we'd sign up new customers. And it just got to a point where I had close to 3,000 customers.
Wow.
Yeah. Had 5, 6 trucks. Each guy had 40 to 50
clients to service.
Sprays or
sprays?
fertilizers. And, of course, everything was set out in areas so that if you imagine a map of, say, Scarborough, I divided it into like 40 areas. Area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And within that area, there would be, let's say there's 15 customers in 1, 20 customers in 2. That's how they'd get their route for the day. So that truck could do 40 to 50 sprays in a day, and he'd never move more than a kilometer.
Smart.
Right? And the next truck would go here, next truck would go here. And they'd come in with everything. You had to leave something in the mailbox. And if it's a spray, there's a little flag that goes on the lawn. If it's a fertilizer, I'd always say to them, make sure you get a little fertilizer on the back deck. Or so they know. Because you'd be amazed. We do stuff and people go, I didn't see the guy. He didn't do it. I'd go walk outside and look. You'll see the fertilizer.
Yeah.
No, I don't see it.
We sprayed some in your open window there.
Yeah. But that's about it. Not a lot, but it would happen. So I'd say to the guys, just make sure as you go by the little back, like your little sidewalk there,
Yeah.
don't cover it, but just get a few little granules on there so they can go, oh yeah, for sure he was here. Those are the little things that
That's
were
so silly, eh?
kind of, oh, you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do believe
It's
it.
a little pet.
Yeah.
I do believe
And not
it.
a lot, but the odd guy, and you go, listen, I did it myself, because I used to go out too.
Of course you did. Sure.
In fact, the first 2 years, I did them all myself. So, anyway, stuff like that. So you're always thinking, make sure they know you were there.
Are any of your current customers
Some of
like
your-
still around?
Still, you know what? I'd have to check. You see, we don't spray anymore.
Okay.
The quick story is that once they cut Killex
Sure.
out of the equation, between you and me, the stuff they use now, and maybe it's
Between you, me, and all the listeners. Okay.
It's a secret.
when the change came, and I'm going to guess it was, my God,
Like,
25 years ago anyway.
Yeah.
When they cut out Killex, maybe more, they gave us stuff.
Bring your mic in a little bit, Mike.
They
Jim.
Yeah.
they gave.
I just
Sorry, it's not Mike.
I just like to repeat my words.
Quit calling me Mike, will you? Right. So, you're making me laugh.
Yeah, I try.
Okay.
You got a good giggle.
See, I lost.
Should have heard him in
bracket.
the library.
Yeah.
I bet.
Where was I?
Original
The back corner of
customers.
the library. Oh,
The what?
Original customers.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so once they cut out Killex, we used the new stuff. Now I'm gapping. It's been so long. Fiesta, it's called.
Sounds fun.
Twice as expensive. Like we'd buy it in 10-liter jugs. So to give you an example, a jug of Killex would cost me, and we'll use those dollars. I think it was about $140
oh wow.
for two of them. You'd buy it in a case of two.
Okay.
That 20 liters, or well, let's talk about a 10-liter jug, so $70. I would use in a 300-gallon tank, and I could do about 50 to 60 lawns, depending on, of course, on the size.
Certainly.
I'm not talking about acreage. I'm talking about a residential
Yeah, average residential.
50 by 100-foot lot,
Sure.
right? So if you do the math backwards, that's costing me in chemicals $1.50 a lawn,
Right.
right? And back then I was paying
Wow.
$6 an hour.
Well,
But these guys would go out and do 50 lawns in a day. 35 to 50, depending on the guy and the route that he had.
right.
And so it worked great.
Is competition through the? Well, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to
Sure.
say a 6-step program, and I can't even believe this now, but it's true. $49.95 in 1984. That's what we charged. Now, we were a bit lower than most of the competition, but I was still making money. So basically, it's $10 a visit.
Damn. Okay.
Now, I'll bet you they'd want $50 to spray your place today. It's not about the area. It's the trip. It's the
Sure.
all the other. But I'll bet you it's minimum of 40.
Yeah, there
or
would have
50.
to be a minimum. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I mean now it's and anyway. So to carry on, once I started using Fiesta, I found it wasn't nearly as effective. It was more than twice as much to buy. You had to mix more in the tank, and I always mixed it properly because I didn't want to go back. And I did a high percentage of the sprays, and I would soak the lawns properly. I was getting half the kill that I was from the Killex.
Wow.
And again, I'm sure that's come a long way in 25 or 30 years. Maybe it's more effective now, but I got people saying to me, and I'd go do a 2-acre lawn. My cost was over $300, so I'd charge them like $450, and they go, "Well, I'm not paying unless you spray it again." And I got to a point where I'm going, "What am I doing? This is ridiculous. Stuff's
Yeah.
not working."
So hence the no spray anymore.
Yeah, and so I eventually just You know, it's not like it just slowly dwindled. And then at that point, I started to cut grass. I never cut grass before that. So, you know, because people were always asking me, do you cut lawns? And I said, no. So then it moved to, yeah, we will. This was all small residential stuff.
So now, if you're not spraying, is cutting the grass like the primary thing you do?
Oh,
basically?
completely.
Yeah.
I'll fertilize. If someone wants fertilizer, I'll do that because it's granular fertilizer. It works.
Are we still talking about the secretary?
Possibly. No, we kept it completely, you know, above board.
Right.
Is there competition these days?
Oh yeah, tons.
Bigger, eh?
Yeah.
Much bigger.
Back then there wasn't as much. The main competition was Weed Man,
Oh yeah.
Camlon, which
Yeah.
I don't even think.
You know the Weed Man.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen the Weed Man around.
Yeah,
There's several of them in town.
yeah. It's a good franchise.
Oh, the Weed Man.
Gee whiz, stay with me.
Yeah, I gotta
Stay
stop.
with me, son.
I gotta stop with all the weed.
So
You just hope you don't need root. What is it?
Root.
The rotor or whatever.
the Roto Rooter. Anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah, but now there's
Sorry, I don't mean to be so serious, but
okay. Well, let's
Grumpy bat.
so that's the quick how that came to be. And then I started to get bigger mowers and doing bigger places. And then when I moved up to Stouffville I just got to think about this for a second. I think it was around 97. I live in an area where they're all
bigger houses,
Yeah,
bigger
yeah.
lawns.
well, bigger lawns.
bigger
sure.
lawns, yeah.
I'm the guy with the smallest house on the street type thing.
yeah, but your property's incredible.
Oh, it's I got lucky. And again, in 1997, it was worth, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you, I don't care who knows. I paid $380 for it, and now it's well over
Damn.
$200,000.
Yeah, I was going to say he only lost 180 grand.
No, but I got lucky. I got in just in time.
That's great.
So, anyway, just I got to know people and people in town, and I put a few ads in the local Stouffville paper, and it just
Flourished.
it did. It grew. It's not huge. I'm not a big company, but you know, I got enough to keep 3 or 4 guys going.
Now, do you plow snow?
Yeah,
Normally winters and stuff. You have
Yeah.
contracts for that.
Yeah,
And then, like you said earlier, you get paid regardless
yes.
because who knows?
And the quickie with the snow is I used to do a lot of commercial stuff. I did a lot of work for York Housing, which was very stressful because you're on a time, everything's got to be done and salted by 8, 9 in the morning at the latest.
Yeah.
Usually if it's a nighttime storm. And I understand that can vary a little bit depending on when the snow comes. But now the insurance is literally becoming prohibitive for a lot of guys. They're getting out of the snow.
Wow.
For one building, I mean, I'll explain. For one building, it can be as much as 10 grand. Now, for 2, it might be 11.
For insurance.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I phoned my insurance guy because there was a nice industrial building not far from me that asked me for a quote. So I said to the guy, before I can give you a quote, I got to see. And the guy said, well, if, you know, obviously the more buildings, it makes sense. But for just one building, it was 10 grand.
That's crazy. So what does the insurance cover?
It's all liability.
Okay, so snowplow, whether it rips up something or.
Well, it's more the slip and falls.
Okay, so that said, that's funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really?
We have a service that comes to us constantly in the winter. They're salting like crazy. The salt eats our sidewalk. It eats the brick. We don't want the salt. We've complained about the salt, but then we get a letter about if we don't put down salt and people slip, no insurance.
It's a catch-22. I know why these guys do it. Because if you slip and you break an arm, you know.
Yeah. Who's at fault? So, well, somebody's going to.
If nobody said anything and it wasn't taken care of properly,
Right.
there it is. You got a lawsuit case. And, and all their insurance just goes up and up. I don't know if you've ever noticed it in our town, our local Tim Hortons. It's like you can't even see the sidewalk. They got so much salt
I
down.
know someone who walked out of a Max Milk or something and slipped and broke her arm, and she sued them, and she got a new car.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, just a second. We're all stunt guys.
That's right.
Let's all go to the store this afternoon.
yeah.
Whoops.
Pull some homeowners. Yeah.
But anyway, that's the quickie with the snow. So now I'm doing literally all residential,
Yeah.
and I do like a couple of churches, no salt.
Well, the church is somewhat residential.
Yeah, but
The house of the Lord.
fact is, once you are responsible for salt, you are liable. If they call you when they want salt, then you're not.
Wow.
So
That's insane.
So in other words, the decision is off my shoulders. If somebody slips and falls, that's your problem. But if you call me tonight and say, can you come and salt, and I come and salt it, I've done my job. I came when you wanted.
But is there a record of that they requested and you responded?
Yeah, they're usually.
Like, I mean, it's a he said, she said
Yeah.
sort of a deal.
But yeah, but I never had an issue with those. But again, quick story. We don't need to go on about this all day. But I was doing a townhouse complex for an acquaintance of mine. It was near me. He said, do you want to do it? I'll give you the contract. In my contract, I plow all the, how there's little parking areas in a townhouse area, And and he said, you plow the sidewalks and the parking lots, but you only salt the sidewalks, which I did, no problem. One day I get a call from a lawyer.
Oh, no, really?
And he says, I tell him who I am. Yes. I said, he said, someone slipped and fell. And I said, well, where did they fall? And he said, they were walking out to their car on the parking lot. And I said, well, I am instructed, I do not salt the parking lots unless I'm called. And I said, I salt the sidewalks every time. He said, okay, you won't be hearing from me again. So the liability was placed on the property manager.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And again, I don't know, there may be rules now that have changed. That was probably 25 plus years ago.
Yeah.
So I can't speak for the law, but I'm sure there's a way for people to get around it. But it's a dicey thing because everybody wants to get I can probably get 25 grand.
Sure. Yeah.
And in a lot of cases, the insurance company will just go, yeah, let's get this out of the way. They don't want to litigate and all that stuff.
I can't get over lawn rangers.
There you go.
Lawn and order. I love that.
I can't get over come and salt. Come and salt.
Wow. Is it chunky?
It's granular.
Oh my God. This tastes salty.
It can be painful.
So, speaking of painful,
Yes.
how the hell did you become a stuntman? I mean, we've talked about it. None of us.
A very fortunate series of events happened to me. Okay, where do I start?
It all started back.
It all started.
84.
Well, I'm gonna actually tell you how I got probably most of my skills,
Yeah.
especially driving.
Yeah, we're interested
Yeah,
in
yeah.
knowing if you have them.
Well, I've been faking it for a long time, but I seem to have been pulling it off. And the truth is, and I grew up in Mississauga, a little area called Lorne Park.
Jim, just bring your mic down a smidgen so I can see you on the camera, and then bring it a little closer to you.
Yeah, how's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, point.
You can actually turn
point
it.
it toward you a little bit.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah,
I'm a technician.
Yeah.
there you go.
Perfect.
So anyway, sorry, Blair. First of all, as I'm sure you know, and we're all very alike, I was a total car freak when I was a kid.
Yeah, man.
I knew every single car on the road when I was 12 years old, what motor it had in it, what transmission it had in it.
Yeah, you beyond the rest, man.
Yeah.
You remind me of Nicolas Cage in Gone 60 Seconds.
Yeah.
Just you listening.
Yeah, you could look at the exhaust pipes and go, yeah, that's a Chev V6, or, da-da-da-da. So I was just infatuated with the whole driving thing. I was driving. My dad loved to drive. He was a bit of a, we'll call it a sporty driver.
An old Chevy Sunbird. Go.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. It's a piece of shit. Anyway, keep going.
We call that a Keswick Caddy.
Oh, yes.
Lots of those up there.
Yeah.
For all you Keswick people listening, awesome town. I love it. And my friends were very similar, especially one or two of them. So what happened was, we ended up, when we were 13 or 14, getting these little beater cars, little shit boxes that were sitting in somebody's driveway for 2 years. And my buddy, Gord Petrie, God love him, not here anymore, probably my oldest friend. We were in the same kindergarten class together. His dad's property, he was like a plumbing contractor. A mechanical contractor, which is plumbing for big commercial properties. They backed onto about 100 acres of dirt roads along a railway line. So, to speed this up a bit, 3 or 4 of us got little crap cars. Like, we'd pay $25 for them, make sure the tires had air in them, they'd run. And every day after school, sorry, was that my stomach? Yeah. We'd go out and Dukes of Hazzard for 2 hours.
Fucking A.
That's
and
awesome.
These dirt roads. And I mean, we were doing stuff, I'm just saying for 12 years old, that
Yeah.
all we did was have these things going sideways all the time. We used to have contests to see who could, do the 90 and the 90 and the 90, back and forth
right
up the dirt. Like 25 times, getting it completely sideways and bringing it. But all that stuff, that's all we did. And probably for a year and a half. And my dad said, if I ever catch you on the street with that thing, like, I'll burn it.
But he was okay with the...
He was fine. Because I had a certain level of common sense and responsible awareness. Yeah. I knew... If I abuse this, it's going to go away. And it was so much fun, right? And that's, quite frankly, between that and playing around in parking lots like we all do, in the snow and the wet, and that's really my training ground. So when we fast forward to doing that first, Randy says to me, can you slide it and land here? I go, yeah.
Duh.
Well, no, but...
No, it's
I'm not that way, but
no, of course.
No, but you're right. I mean, that's like, how it happens.
It is. So, because of all that playing as a young boy, because it was literally, I didn't get involved with you guys till I was basically in my early 30s. But I loved it. I raced go-karts and I raced motorcycles. And
do you guys remember meeting at all?
Meeting,
like the first time you met?
I actually think I do, and I don't know if you would remember it.
Was it in a gravel pit?
Were you buying or selling? No, I can't remember.
We were doing something in a gravel pit, and I saw this pretty lady get out of a car, and she's behind the door, and as I'm driving towards him, oh, she's pretty. Oh my God, she's really pregnant. And I find she's Jim's wife.
I remember that, but that was in, that's right near where I live, by the way. That gravel pit is very close to, that was in Stouffville area. I remember that. That was a Jaguar commercial we were doing.
No idea.
Right on.
No, I won't forget it, because gravel roads, this guy wants me sliding this car around. I said, you sure? Like, this is gravel. Give her. I'm going, okay.
It's not my car.
And I know we've all had those where you're in some really nice car and they just want you to give her, right?
Oh yeah.
On dirt or gravel. And I'm like,
Yeah, those are the best.
But I always like to sort of qualify. You understand what's
Yeah.
going to happen, right? Probably. Anyway, but I do remember that.
Him? No.
But I seem to remember meeting you on a spot in Scarborough. Bobby Hanna was coordinating.
Yeah, shout out to Bobby. Big
Yep.
time.
And I mean, I owe Bobby. He brought me in.
As do I.
Yep. Yep. And you and I ended up getting into a very interesting conversation because I don't know if that was the first time, but I feel like it was. And I went after, like, wow, this guy is really cool. Like, because you were writing.
Yeah.
You were talking about stuff and, we ended up having a really good talk. And I remember that particularly. I feel that was before the gravel pit, but
It could be.
maybe, Randy, and again, if we're thinking years now, I guess it was 90 when I started. And it was Bobby that brought me out on a B movie called Talons of the Eagle.
Right, I was there.
I don't know if you ever saw it.
Nobody saw it.
No, you're right. You should see it. But I tell you, what a blast, the stuff we got to do.
Right.
So 90 was when I started. So it had to be sometime between then and probably the next few years.
And then since then, we've done a whole lot of work together.
Oh, yeah. And I am forever grateful to you for trusting me and allowing me to do probably the most incredibly fun stuff. Like, again, I'll never forget the road commercials we did. That's still so big in my mind. There was 4 big spots, and you had me as basically the main guy, and it was all...
Wait, the Nissan ones?
Yeah.
Were they for the Rogue? Yeah, I guess they were.
I don't remember.
Oh,
Remember,
we were all
remember
driving
the
other-
icy bridge, the mud,
that was a blast. That series.
Oh yeah,
all that stuff.
yeah.
I will never forget that. That was
the snowmen.
yeah. Oh, that was the sorry, Blair. That was the second one,
Right.
right? That was the follow up, and I thought, oh my God, they're doing another one.
That was
awesome.
The snowman one thing was a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and the thing is too.
No, maybe that was part of the first one.
I mean, everybody was there, including Blair. Who's
I know.
Who's behind the cameras right now. Yeah, I mean, it's man.
But that, for some reason, I know, and there's been many, many, many things we've done, but that one to me was so. I was so appreciative that you trusted me to do what we had to do, and it was just like I felt like, God, this is just unbelievable.
Well, I know you well. I know what you do.
We all discussed back in the day that he's the wrong guy, but he had you. Yeah. He was like, no, just trust me.
You know how many lessons I had to take before I did that?
No, that was great. They're good spots. Wow.
Yeah, they were. They were great. Yeah, they played them for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, in the history of my career, you've been pretty much there for the entire thing.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
And I remember when you
It's
came
been
in.
amazing. Yeah.
And I'm saying, here comes another butcher.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember when you were a young guy and doing some driving and worked out fantastic.
Yeah.
Now
it's working.
Now you're one of the kingpins.
Yeah, and he coordinates all his own stuff.
Yeah.
And whatever. Yeah. That's silly to say, but
yeah.
He's getting more calls
Yeah,
than
it's
I
going
am.
well, but thanks to all 3 other guys that are here today.
Well,
it's been a hell of a ride for me. So
it certainly has been a pleasure, working with you guys, and even what's his name again? Blair.
I think it's
Blaine.
Seconds.
Blair.
BJ.
Blair. Yeah, it's Blair, right?
And he can speak up if he wants to tell you off.
Yeah, he can.
I don't know what to say at the moment.
Love you, Blair. Love you, buddy.
That's great. Yeah, we've done a whole lot of work together. Bobby was incredibly instrumental in my being brought into that area of the business.
Yeah.
Doing car commercials and things like that. Shout out
Now,
to Bob.
when did you start? Yeah, I know you've been at it
God.
a lot longer than I have.
Yeah, but see, you did something earlier that I don't have an ability to do. You thought about something and you went, oh, well, you're 97. I don't do that. I don't have a time in my head. My wife will say, Randy, that was 10 years ago, not 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, I've done that too.
Yeah. So I don't have time in my head, and I couldn't give you a number as to when I started. Like car commercials, you mean? Stuff like that?
Just generally, like your first shoot that you did.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
That was back in the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean,
you were you were an expert in fighting, still are.
Yeah.
But that was your big thing at
Yeah,
that point.
that was my introduction to the film industry, would be my martial arts and my former gymnastics skills.
But
Right.
now, would you agree that that there was a time when everyone was sort of introduced to the business in a way like you were, karate or martial arts or gymnastics or something, and then all the guys, to me it seems like all the veteran guys got into driving eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But today it doesn't seem like it's like that at all. Is it?
I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know.
Like some people get into it, but the stunt community is so vast, and the car driving thing is kind of tight.
Yeah, the driving stuff is a pretty niche area, and you I'm sure you get this all the time as well, Jim. I know Andrew and I do, and Blair does. People are constantly approaching you to become a stunt driver.
How do you get into that?
I got two emails yesterday from people I don't know.
Yeah.
Asking how do I become a stunt driver? Can you help me? But it's going to be the coordinator. It's going to be his trusted team of guys that he knows. The list of people that want to be stunt drivers is massive.
Yeah.
But the list of stunt drivers, excuse me, that I will call upon is incredibly short.
Oh yeah.
And if I'm not speaking out of turn here,
Oh, here he goes.
Philosophically speaking, I often say to people, a lot of what we do is very easy. But then there's 20% that you better know how to do.
Yeah, if it's called upon you.
Like some of the car commercials, let's face it, you have to be aware, but we're not talking high-end, crazy, hitting a
Right.
mark on the money
100%.
stuff.
100%.
Yeah, but
now that
I'm not taking away from it. I'm saying that
I'm with you, but
that
it's
can be
also
learned fairly quickly.
but it's also easy for a guy like you.
But see, it's agreed upon by the three of us, and Blair, I'm sure, behind that wall. What you just said is true, but only to the extent that you bring 30 years of a career to do those easy things, and make it incredibly easy. If you get someone who's only done it once or twice or never done it before,
Yeah.
their nerves.
To get the better of them.
It's
Yeah,
easy,
there's a lot of that.
It's easy because we do it.
Yeah. Well, that's true. But I mean, there's some things you've asked me to do that I'm going,
I mean,
I can do this.
Yeah, honestly, the shortest day I ever.
And when I get it, I go,
Don't ask me to do it again.
yeah. Okay, we got it. That's I believe in.
The shortest day I ever did on set was I think it was for a Kia commercial, and I went in and I parked. I literally parked, and there was a lady running toward me. I don't even know who she was to this day exactly. She's running toward me.
She's in the shoot.
She's part of the crew.
Okay.
And she's running, and I get out, and she says, "Andrew," yeah. And she says, "We need you in the car right now." Okay. Well, I hopped in the car, and I was with the guys at the time, that are in the Ukraine, and Mark Cabadoo and those guys. And Mark comes over and says, "We're just going to the stop sign and coming back." Okay, great. We literally just went to the stop sign, came back, and they wrapped me. I think I was there for half an hour, 40 minutes. I couldn't even believe how fast my day was. Yeah, signed a contract and left.
Wicked. That's
So,
incredible.
I mean,
that's rare.
there are days.
Okay, I got one. But do you have one? I'll let you go first. One of those. I have one that I'll never forget. If you have a little cutie that was like,
He wants
that's
you to
it?
go to first because he knows his is going to up you.
Well, he's
No.
lying, so he has to make his up.
Yeah, he's a dick.
I think it's
No, I mean I've literally walked. I walked to set a number of times, but on television shows, where the AD shook my hand and said, "Thanks, Randy, bye." But not that kind of
But
stuff.
something where you performed. You know, and you did your one take, and they went, "We loved it. See ya."
Yeah, we all met on set once. I remember, and they didn't show up, or something happened. They didn't let the stunt crew know, or whatever it was, and we all just ate breakfast and left. Remember that?
I don't remember.
It was you? I think Blair was
Was
there.
that
I think
Thursday or
Peter was there.
That's hilarious.
Do you remember Blair?
Yeah, they didn't know what to do with us, and they said they were going to go leave, and they went to like Hamilton, and we all hung around in Toronto,
Yeah.
and we just kind of fucked around, and they came back. Oh yeah, we'll never get.
constructively fucking around though? You know, reading the
Right.
scripts and you know.
Remember we were doing that
Yeah.
one spot, and everybody changed in the honey wagon, and then they wrapped us, but the honey wagon had left with all our clothes in it. Remember that?
I don't remember.
You were there. I got pictures of it.
I do remember that one as well.
And Regan's wearing that blonde wig.
I have a
Oh,
picture
man.
with him in that wig.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
That was
I have a picture-
Toyota.
I have a picture.
I remember that.
That was
Several wigs.
Toyota, and
Yeah.
we were. I know that only because I have the picture. That's why I remember.
Oh, that's funny.
I got a picture of
Hilarious.
Andrew, yourself,
Yeah.
myself, Blair, Reagan,
Yeah.
and
I think, was Eddie there?
3, 4. Eddie. Eddie, I think was there.
I think you're right. I think it's.
I should have brought that picture with me. I got it stuck on my.
Well, now I've got to post it on the podcast
Okay.
because everybody's
I'll send
wondering.
it to you.
Yeah, do that, please.
Hey guys,
Yeah,
you know what I was thinking when you talk about skilled guys and older guys driving cars?
yeah.
Here's what I tell people when I have, like, on the show I'm working on right now, the physical double is not the one driving the car. I'm like, why? Well, when someone that's new and hasn't been doing this long falls down the stairs, their only responsibility is themselves. But once you're in a car, the responsibility becomes the entire crew.
Oh,
If a car screws up,
that's good.
you can actually slide it into something or someone you shouldn't be. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes, and I'm glad I taught you that, Blair.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
You just got cut.
It's a good call. It's a good call.
It's on tape, so now at least I can play it back and learn it.
Yeah.
Jim, tell us, baby.
Well, no. It just because I have only one of those. It was, I don't know. It was a CIBC commercial, and it was about insurance. So the guy gets his car stolen out of an underground garage. And it was downtown Toronto on a Saturday in an underground garage. So literally, I get there. The guy shows me the car. I don't know what it was. A little, mid-sized car. He says, "We're going to set the camera up here. We want you to come at it, do a little slide, and drive away." So I did it. Perfect. He says, "Okay, we're just going to move the camera." We did one more. Literally the whole thing, 20 minutes. He says, "Okay, you're wrapped." Like you said, half an hour max I was on set.
Wow.
And it was just one of those things I'll never forget that it was. And it was even a bit
Those are
fun,
just
right? It
wild.
was, right?
Yeah, I mean,
But I
those are
think-
days where you feel like a cheat.
But I think in that case, it wasn't about the car. It was about the insurance. And this guy stealing a car out of an underground garage. But
Yeah, you did your job. And
yeah,
it's finished.
and it was like, really?
Yeah, the one I was on,
That's it.
I actually did the day before, and it was actually a really long day, and it was I had 5 stunters out doing there was 200 extras or something doing a pillow fight.
What was it I was doing?
It was all yeah.
Yeah, can we talk to you about this?
But it was fun. It was a big giant pillow fight. I had 5 stunters out, all doing taking falls and doing some big splashes with pillows.
Nice.
And it was great. And then the next day, yeah, I went in, did a half hour of driving, and left.
Anyway,
But
gotta love it.
I have so many memories of so many commercials. I barely remember the make of the vehicle or the product that we're doing. But one of my favorites that I remember was I was going down this road. I had to take this car down this road, and it almost comes to a point where it's not a 90-degree turn. It's like almost like I don't know what the angle that would be, but there was a huge tree and a couple of big boulders, and on the other side of the road was a big ditch full of stones. And they needed me to drive down to that corner, pitch the car around that tree, and come back up this other road. So I did it. Yeah, so it's
Like a
down-
hairpin?
A hairpin.
So you do a little slide,
and it's
then-
not even a turn like this. It's don't.
right.
oh yeah.
And whoever came on the radio and said, Randy, can you go faster? I said, sure, yeah, I'll go faster. Take 2, boom, faster. Come back on the radio. Randy, they're asking to go faster in a bigger slide. I said, sure. Like, you know that the ditch there full of rocks, and there's a great big tree, right? And
Thought I'd point that out.
I don't mind telling people that there's shit in the way.
Of course.
And they go, yeah, we know, it's all good. And I said, it's not my car. It's all good. And so I did it again. And they said, well, they're still asking for bigger, harder. And I said, okay, guys, this car is a piece of shit.
Sorry, this was a new car?
Brand new.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and it's
Just
beautiful. No, it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful car. And I said, this car is a piece of shit. And the first AD, he comes back and says, Randy, go again, please. The client standing beside me didn't quite hear you.
Had to be Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. So, it ended up they got what they wanted, but oh my God.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it happens.
You try to be responsible.
You know what? That's another thing with experience, though, is the ability to just talk on the walkie and talk this shit through.
Well,
Like, that's a huge thing.
Absolutely, but I think applies to all of us here is where that limit is.
Oh, gosh, yes.
And we've all said, no, you can't do that. I can't come in here at 80 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Or we're going to end up not only in the tree, but bending the car in half. Like,
Yeah, we've had this discussion with some other people. We
Yeah.
had Steve Chase here, the director, commercial
I
director.
saw some of that.
Yeah, it's great. But we talked about it, and there's ways of getting around what they're asking for
Yeah.
filmically.
Well, what
Yes.
they're asking for, they don't know.
That's exactly
They don't really
correct.
know what you're going to do to
And-
accomplish this.
When somebody asks for 80 miles an hour, how do you know it's 80 miles an hour, pal?
And unless it makes sense, like it's a big open highway, but I get
100%.
you. I know exactly. And I did hear that bit.
Yeah, and we can
And,
change.
and I like that.
Yeah, well, you should, because I said it.
Yeah. No, but I've often said
Read
that.
the shirt, Jim. Jesus.
I don't even know if I'm good anymore.
It's hilarious. Yeah,
But I agree. And I think I was working with Marco once, and he said the same thing. Like, as in, yeah, they want you to go 70, just do 60, or whatever.
yeah. Do what you can.
Yeah. I think it was a hit or something.
Yeah.
And it said, yeah, it's going to be fine. And, they loved it. It was good. But I agree. And we've all kind of gone through that because they can't, at least as far as we are aware, and you guys do more film work in terms of behind the camera, it's hard to notice a big difference in speed. You can see a slide can be more aggressive than another.
Yeah, that depends on the angle.
Right.
So you can shoot low, you can shoot high, you can go closer, whatever. It depends on the angle of the lens that you're using.
Yeah.
And speed only really counts on angles, like
Yeah.
going across. If a car's coming directly at you,
Right.
you can't tell whether it's going 60 or 100.
Right.
Well, you learn a lot of like car acting.
Yeah.
Like I come around a corner and give a bit of a jiggle or something, and all of a sudden the director's going, yeah, that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Just wiggle the bum end.
Yeah.
And they think it's amazing.
And I remember you taught me a little trick many years ago.
And you're going to tell the world now?
Well, it was a good advice. I had to do a near hit somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And you said to me, just as you hit the brake, crank the wheel to one side so it'll stop a bit quicker. And we weren't going real quick. It was someone walked out in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think it was in suits. We were downtown. In fact, I think Spencer and Deb came out.
Okay.
You remember that?
No.
But I remember thinking, and I'm supposed to come like within inches of him, and he sort of slaps the car and looks at me, and you said, when you come in, right at the end, just as you're, just crank it.
As you're squealing to a stop.
Yeah. And I thought, like, it worked.
The rubber bites.
Yeah. The rubber bites, it stopped a little quicker, and should something go wrong, you're at least veering off to one side. But little things, little tricks like that, you remember.
Yeah, man.
I do.
Yeah.
But,
I forgot.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What else? Keep going.
Oh,
No, it's great.
Fuck.
I did a thing where you that my head went somewhere else. I had a stunt guy come whipping up a street, and the actor is going to run across the street in front of him, and he has to slide to a stop short of hitting the actor. So you pick two lines on the road. One's for the actor, one's for the car. The actor will never cross this line. The car will never cross this line. We both know this is where we are. And
car on one side, actor on the other.
100%, but it's not one line, it's two.
Right.
So there's an actor line and a car line.
Sure.
And, well, rehearsals were perfect. And this is where, and all in all, this is a fairly easy gag. And this was an incredibly experienced guy. And this goes back to what you said earlier about things being easy. So to someone else who wants to be a stunt driver, and they see this, they're in a movie or a TV show, they're going to go, that's easy. And this is a guy with experience. He can whip it up on action. Your adrenaline, this adrenaline thing kills me, but his adrenaline comes up. He gets excited, pedal to the metal. That actor, when the car stopped, was sitting on the hood and got off and ran. And it was beautiful, but wrong.
So the actor had the wherewithal to continue, but
running,
it was...
And he had to put his hand on the hood like this and kind of sit on the hood as it's sliding to a stop.
Man.
So he not only crossed his car line, he crossed his actor line.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
But that, quite frankly, depending on your speed, that's a lot more difficult than it looks.
It is, but in the hands of the experienced...
Yeah. And that's what... Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, mistakes are made, but...
Yep.
Yeah. Everything comes down to it. Terrain, the ability of the car.
100%.
You know, yeah.
It's like we go out and rehearse. And then when they're called to set, wet down.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
It's happened.
Yeah.
It's happened.
Okay, let's start over again.
See, that's another thing, you know, just if something like that happens, if an outer force, whether it's the director or an AD or somebody, has made a call on something different after a rehearsal before going to camera, I mean, that's another thing that experience brings you. It's just the wherewithal to bring it up, say it.
Yeah.
Say, sorry, guys, if you feel like I'm wasting time, but you just wasted my time. So, you know, maybe you say it differently, but,
Yeah.
you know, that shit comes up. That happens.
ABS.
Oh, geez. Well, they're making cars anti-stunt.
They
are, big time.
That can really throw you.
Which is different because, like, if you're asked to do something in a car commercial, you're using a stock automobile from whatever company, pick one, and then you'll read the boards and the director wants a particular maneuver, and you say, you know, sorry, it has an electronic parking brake. It's not an emergency brake anymore. It's a parking brake. And if you push it while driving, it literally slows you down. There is no lockup of...
Yeah.
So then what we have to do is we'd have to rejig the car to accomplish a lock and a slide or whatever you want, or drifting. But that's now altering the mechanics of the vehicle, so that's not the car they can sell.
They've never cared about that anyway.
Well, a lot of people do, but a lot of the legal teams will say we can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not true.
It's not true. I did a job, and I won't say for who. And it has an automatic braking system. If somebody walks out in front of the vehicle, the vehicle will stop dead within 4 feet. I said, that's fine. That's great. I love that you've done this technology, but on the day my stunt guy will be depressing the brake. And they said, no, we have to have it. We have to shoot it with it doing it on its own. And I said, that's fine. You get one of your executives to walk out. You get one of your executives to drive the truck. And when it works for them, we'll do it.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, my stunt guy is depressing the brake. And that's how we shot it. And then I was later told that it doesn't work if they're running. It doesn't work if it's a baby carriage. It doesn't work if it's a bicycle. It doesn't work if it's raining. So now my question is, why are you putting this on your vehicles? You're just giving a false sense of security to someone that it's going to stop. And it's crazy what they're doing to vehicles.
Yeah.
When I bought my truck, 2020, there's a whole whack of shit that I just turned off. Just don't even use all the crap that I paid for.
Yeah.
Because it's either annoying or, even like the reverse brake assist kind of thing where it brakes for you if it feels like it's going to hit something. I mean, mine is so sensitive that if I'm backing up and there's like a little post behind me or something, I can see it in my camera, but it'll just stop me and it's as if I hit it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. I mean, it's probably useful, but I don't know.
But I agree that, like, I think that particular feature may come in handy if some guy in front of you hammers on his brakes. Possibly that could help you, but to put someone's life at risk on a should work basis, I would have been like you. I would have said, put a dummy up there or something. I don't know. I'm not quite sure.
So
but
somebody would have said it doesn't work on dummies. You literally have to be walking. It has to be.
Well, then
send something.
Then someone's hitting the brake.
Yeah,
and I agree with you because I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If
I think
somebody
I'd go,
walks-
this is insane.
Yeah.
It's just, I know it's supposed to work, but
Yeah.
I mean, you just said it. It's
I was doing a spot. They brought two little sports cars, the prototypes, and this car doesn't exist. It didn't exist at the time. I don't even know if it exists now. And the job was that I had to come in. They had these beautiful cars. I think 8 of their other lineups, all white in a semicircle. And I'm bringing this little red sports car in and sliding it sideways for camera to point it to lens like this. And I got in the car, and then I got out of the car, and I went over to the director and I said, I can't do it. He said, why not? I said, there's no e-brake in that car. He said, there's no e-brake. Then the guy from the car company, he got kind of hot on me and said, yeah, of course there's an e-brake. And I said, well, where is it? Come and show me. And he said, it's right beside the conventional brake. It's right there on the floor. I said, really? There's a pedal there? Come and show me. So he came over and there isn't one. I said, yeah.
there's a little button on the
Well, no, there's nothing.
nothing
He called the company and they said, we didn't put anything in the prototypes.
because it was a prototype.
Yeah, it's in the manual, but it's not in the car. So we couldn't affect that slide without mechanically altering the vehicle. So I went to the director and I said, is there any reason why I have to come in forward? Can I come in backwards? And he said, you can come in backwards and do that? I said, well, that's actually easier.
Yeah.
So he said, show me. So I come in backwards and slid the car around, and they were tickled.
Was this a very expensive car?
Yeah, it was.
I remember you telling me about
Yeah.
that because
Yeah.
I think I was with the Ukraine. You and I met there during a tech survey.
Oh, you were driving.
Oh,
Ukraine.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
You had your truck.
Oh my.
And I know,
Oh, wow.
and I can't remember what it was for, but I remember you telling me, and it was a very high-end car.
Yeah. Yeah, but they only had 2.
Yeah.
One was, I think, white and one was red.
Yeah.
And I drove the red one in the
I wasn't there for the shoot. I was there for the Ukraine that, because Mark couldn't make it. And
Right.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun. I could go on forever on the stories of the car commercials, man.
Yeah.
well, speaking of that, I remember the Wolfpack commercial. I think it was a Dodge.
That was a trip.
Oh,
All the
my
silver cars.
Yeah, no,
Goodness me.
everybody that's here today was there.
Yeah.
And Peter, I think. Right?
Yeah, Peter.
And you got to drive this beautiful Viper from Vegas or something, right?
Yeah,
Am I right?
It was the bad boy too.
Yeah, and you did.
Yeah.
And you did some nice damage on.
And they needed to ship that to a car show.
I had the same conversation with the car handler. I said, "Are you sure?" Because remember, well, we all remember it was all muddy and
It was fucking
It was
crazy.
it was in a gravel pit.
Yeah.
And it was a few days, right? Like we
Yeah,
had
there was a few days on it.
Yeah, and
Right, a few nights or
some
whatever.
nights. Yeah,
Yeah, we did more days than Jim.
Oh, is that
we were.
right?
You remember?
I don't think so.
so I wondered why I only got half a day on that.
Like that's when you had to spin it.
Yeah,
wrecking the shit out of this car.
Oh, and you guys were parked there. It was probably spraying everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was.
Remember?
All I knew is I was going to get this thing around. I wasn't going to
man.
dilly-dally with it.
No,
Giving her.
and that's the car to take around. I mean,
Yeah.
my God, the power in that car.
Well, you were ahead of us all. You were at the head of the line.
Yeah.
And all I remember, I was in the Durango. Peter's ahead of me. And it was just with my wipers. Clean mud. Clean mud. Clean
Yeah.
mud. You know, and there was so much mud. It was the middle of the night. Raining like crazy.
Racing.
Couldn't see a thing.
Racing down that road.
Yep.
Around between those two
And almost
pits of water.
an almost non-visible road.
Yeah. Well, it was invisible.
I could see fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
You
right.
guys have a problem.
And I was at the back. I was at the back.
In the little
And I come around the corner, and there's Peter completely sideways, drifting down the road, and I'm coming at his passenger
Wasn't
door.
there one where we were all doing circles around, like together? Down that road at the end. I thought we did a whole bunch
we were
of...
doing
yeah,
we were
like
like
together.
going all the way to the end, and we were doing stuff kind of together and coming back. I don't know. There was a whole whack
Yeah.
of shit they were doing. That
And
was
then
super
we'd come back and they'd spray all the cars off.
Yeah.
They had like a car wash set up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I remember we got there, and they assumed it was going to be kind of a decent night or something. It was the no mud, you know, just and it ends up this rainy,
Pouring
super
rain.
muddy. I mean, thick mud.
And they say don't hurt the cars. And
Yeah,
did you read the scripts, buddy?
Yeah.
and I mean, you did some pretty good underneath damage.
But nothing that wasn't asked for.
No, 100%.
That's exactly correct.
Yeah,
You know?
not your fault.
Right.
No,
I mean,
In fact,
we all did what we did.
They
and-
weighed out even taking the Viper out. Remember, we kind of got there, and there was some chit chat about even
Yeah.
fuck, we can't use this thing. And then somebody gave the word,
And it
it's
was
all
that
good.
it was that special model
Yeah.
that had the little
gorgeous,
racing scoop underneath the front end that was like an inch and a half off the road.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it had the skirt and all the stuff on it.
It was a special edition car.
It was
pretty.
Yeah.
So one or two of them or something.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
Supposed to go back to Vegas.
I got to beat it up.
Yeah. That was fucking awesome.
So, okay, I'd like to ask you, Randy.
Yes, sir.
Is there one particular spot
Yeah.
that you went, oh my God, that was so fantastic? Like your favorite, whether it was because of the type of car it was or something you did that was sort of,
Well-
we'll call it spectacular and I know you've done so many, but
Yeah, I think my favorite spot was when I was one of the original sponge towel guys.
Oh, this has nothing to do with driving. Just,
up on the wall?
No, or I'm teasing. Yeah, I was one of the original sponge towels. Is that what they call them?
yeah, sponge towel. The dudes all dressed like a white marshmallow or something.
So they brought me in to be the stunt guy that gets like 7 people jumping on me. So some little girl spills her orange juice in the kitchen, and I jump on the spill, and then everybody else jumps on me. Yeah, I'm a stunt guy. I won't get squished.
Did you have you had a little bit of protection?
Yeah, sponge
Nothing to
towel.
speak of.
It's just a sponge towel
Paper
suit.
towels.
It's a sponge towel suit. Car commercials. Favorites, you mean?
You know what I mean? Like,
One where all the training you do. This is why.
well, just like
You
a
know?
really cool car doing something kind of unique. I don't know. Maybe just
Yeah, there's just so many, Jim. Like so many. I think I've driven cars for almost every car manufacturer that you could name, and it's hard to say. And one that comes to mind is a Japanese car called a Crown Royal. I believe Toyota made it, and it's a stunning car. It's a big luxury car, but not for sale here. You have to.
right.
It's for sale in Japan, but they shot it here on a golf course. And I don't remember the golf course that we were on, but it's a stunning car. And I remember remarking to the Japanese contingent that came over with the car that we in Canada try to stop people from drinking and driving, and you call your car a Crown Royal. I don't think they got it.
That's funny.
But
Blair, did you get that? Sorry, bud.
there was this golf course was absolutely stunning, and all the cart paths were beautifully paved. So I had to come up the cart path in this car towards camera, but at the end of the cart path, there's nowhere to turn around. So I have to back the car down.
Well,
this
without
cart
driving
path.
without driving on the grass.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
that was the most important thing.
That was a no-no.
Locations were incredibly adamant that I not touch the grass with the vehicle. Not a problem. So I take this car down the cart path, and I get to a point, and it's so windy, twisty, hilly that, of course, I can't see camera. So they call action. Up I go at whatever speed we decided. And I go zipping by camera. Okay, Randy, that was perfect. Let's just do it one more time for safety. Nothing's going to change. Back down. Okay, is everybody clear? Everybody's clear. Ba-boom, ba-boom. You do your thing. Action. I come up and I come around. I'm zoom, zoom, zoom. And the moment I hit the crest of this hill, the camera on sticks is in the middle of the paved cart path. Right?
My God.
There. And I'm boogieing.
You gotta be kidding.
No. So I took that car into the grass, slid it sideways to a stop, driver's side down, and I created the best ruts ever.
And they deserved it.
Oh man, the locations guy comes screaming at me, and I just pointed at the camera. Who put that there?
Yeah, that's weird.
That's
What happened there?
incredible.
No idea. Why they would ask me to do that again and have it there is
What were they
anybody's guess.
thinking?
Yeah. Anyway, I remember it really well. It was fun, but it was a gorgeous car. But we've been in a lot of gorgeous cars.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah, all those Ford Fiestas and,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. So guess who's not getting a call from Ford now?
Fuck.
No, the hot one's really nice.
Well, how about you, Jim?
Yeah. What's your favorite? Like, can you think of one?
Well, I gotta say, I mean, geez, there's so many that were fun, but that LFA.
That's actually a Beach Boy song.
it is.
Yeah, fun.
They should write something on that. In Japan.
Oh yeah. What was it you
You
took?
guys know about it. It was an LFA.
Yeah.
What is that?
Lafa.
It's a Lexus.
Okay.
It was their supercar.
Oh, I know
They
what
only
you're talking
made
about.
500 of them,
Yes.
and we
Oh,
got
that's
to,
the
got
shit
to drive
right
it
there.
at the Mount Fuji F1 track.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah. Send me a copy. Send me a picture of that.
yeah.
That's a...
I do have a nice picture that
I know.
actually Mark
I've seen it.
Mark took. We were not allowed to take any pictures. I think I told you guys that story too, which I'll tell again just because it's kind of fun.
Yeah, they don't listen to us in Japan.
But me, first of all, I freaked out because we were at a Formula One track.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is like going to Spa or Interlagos or something.
Sure.
Yeah. And I'm walking in going, oh my God, this is like, they didn't tell us where we were going or what the track was, or I guess it was owned by Toyota. And, I'm just going, do you know who's been here standing right where we're standing? Michael Schumacher's been standing here. But anyway, they finally unveil this car. We didn't even see it the first day. We did a bit of rehearsal concept stuff with 2 other Lexuses just for the camera car guys. And next day, they literally unveiled this car. It was in a tent. And do you know the car? Have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's a V10, I don't know, not silly, but like 580, 600 horsepower. And just,
It's a beautiful car.
oh my God, to drive. And I'll say I got a little bit of a, because we have this big meeting with all the muckety mucks. And I'm
Starting
sitting,
to speak gibberish, Jim.
I'm sitting,
That's Japanese.
yes,
Right.
Jeff, I learned a lot when I was there. I'll go into that later. And I'm thinking, what are they going to ask me to do with this thing? Like, I don't know. I hope I can do
Just
what they
drive
want
it.
me to do.
Yeah, totally, man.
Right? Are we doing big, long drifts through corners? And, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, because I'm a bit, I don't know. Normally we know what we're doing before we go out there, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you guys. One of my first questions is always, okay, what are we doing? Are we drifting?
Of course.
because of what we talked about. We need to know the car, whether it's capable of doing.
Sure.
Anyway, it ends up, they say, we want this car to be like it's on rails. No sliding, on the race lines, smooth, like it's part of the track.
Yeah, man.
And I'm just going. Like, that is my thing, right? Like, I just went, oh my God. And got to drive that track. And I probably told you guys, but when they first introduced me to the car, it was the senior test driver for Toyota who was very instrumental in the development of this car.
Oh, wow.
Along with the owner. I think it was a Toyota person that this guy worked with. This was going to be their baby. It was 6 or 7 years developing this car. He did not speak a word of English. And
did you use muckety muck with him?
I did. So he understood that, okay. Fucking butcher. You can cut that out.
Was that another butcher?
He gets in and he takes me for a lap around the track. And he's literally just, get in, right? I go, okay. I got the race suit on and all the gear. Everything's all custom made. And then he gets out and he says for me to get in the driver's seat. And he says, because there was a translator there. He said, go do a few laps. Just, get to know the car. And I mean, it was like, you got to be kidding me. This is like, talk about a dream come true. And I keep thinking to myself, I'm getting paid to do this.
Big time.
Yeah.
But that was one of those moments that, and then we shot for a couple of days.
Wait, but you got the gig here.
Yeah. And I will give credit. It was the Ukraine guys that suggested me because they came over to shoot it.
Oh, damn.
That's the thing.
Wow,
Because
what a gig.
I admit it. Why you? Well, don't they have drivers over there? But they wanted people that had worked with the Ukraine.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think Mark had given them my name.
Yeah, because I was busy.
Yeah, that's right.
Mark's going to be here shortly. I'll be chatting
Sorry,
with Mark.
Yeah, he's on tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, make a note.
Yeah.
Talk to Mark.
Why wasn't I?
Well, I can't say
So
anything, Mark.
it was to me the luckiest thing that ever happened to me. But first class flight over there. I mean, I'm not exactly Mr. World Traveler, so this was a
Fucking
huge
sweet,
deal.
man.
Just the trip.
You kidding?
Yeah. So and from our hotel to the track was like a 2-hour drive in this van, and we had a translator with us.
They didn't make you drive that van. Huh?
No. Okay. So we'd stop for lunch and nobody spoke any English except our translator.
Right.
But no, it was an awesome experience, and it's something that I'll never ever forget. It was
Absolutely.
It was just right in my wheelhouse as far as
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, man, that sounds sick.
It was just off the charts because it was. And again, I just wasn't sure what they were wanting me to do in terms of drifting or whatever, right? Because you need a little time to get dialed in.
Now, is that car for sale? Is it
Yeah,
production?
They sold them. They came out in that was in 09, and I think it came out in 09 or 10. And apparently they made 500 of them. I don't know.
Oh, really? Okay, so it was one of those limited deals, and
Yeah.
collectors can buy them.
Yeah. Oh, and again, this is another sort of a cool thing, but the director said to one of the top producers, can I drive the car? And she said, no. If you want to go in that car, he drives you. I was the only guy allowed to touch that car except that senior.
BP that took you around.
Wow.
He was the test driver. So was his title. But obviously had a lot to do with developing and that. But it was one of those sort of magical, oh my God, experiences, right? That,
Yeah, that's
and the car was so oh my God, it was so fun to drive, and it was easy paddle shifts, just like I was in my element, and on an F1 track.
Yeah, that's so sweet, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a biggie for me.
Right.
I mean, I love the stuff we do.
Yeah, you
Just-
get it.
no, but that's super
Shut the
cool.
Yeah.
Nah.
But that was just plain fun. Well, no, but like,
Yeah,
no,
no, of
what I'm
course.
saying is the stuff we do is more difficult.
Yeah, that's our bread and butter.
Yeah.
And
But this was
every
like
once in a while.
going, you'd pay to go and do this,
Totally.
right?
Sure.
Any car enthusiast, you guys, of course, you know, you would have just been in your element just because it's just sheer driving.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh man, that is the dream.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
It was. So that was probably my favorite. But again, those Nissan spots always bubble up in my mind once in a while, thinking how much fun those were.
Right.
Like that was some really cool, fun.
Remember the one we did with the Army tank? You were there.
Yeah, yeah. There was like 20 of us.
They never.
Yeah, what did you drive? The little
It was like a little race,
little race
car, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's right. It was. It was a little open wheel.
Yeah.
That's right. The owner was there.
And it was a feisty little thing.
Wow,
it was.
that's a good memory. I forgot about that.
Yeah, the tank.
The tank was sweet.
An Army tank.
Yeah, that was cool, man.
What was that for?
Nissan.
And
It was
Nissan.
Nissan.
And how many guys were there? 13 of us.
Yeah, there was a lot. I remember when we all went to lunch.
Yeah,
who,
there were.
Who
there,
drove the lead? I think that was Carson or something. Was driving the
in pulling out of the driveway?
with the actual Nissan.
Yeah, he was actually
right?
back.
Yeah, and there was all kinds of weird, different.
Yeah, and I drove a little open wheel hot rod T-bucket.
That's right.
Open, no roof.
And I drove a hippie van of sorts that just kept breaking down.
Yeah.
I was barely in the spot.
Yeah. But I remember the producer came up to me and said, "None of your guys are going to sign because it doesn't say residuals." And I said, "Yeah, well, it's a residual category." And then she went away and did the math and came back and she says, "Oh my God, we can't afford to air this." And it never aired.
Oh, it didn't?
No, it never aired that commercial. Did you get a check?
Well, I don't remember.
Yeah, no.
Get so darn many of them.
Yeah, it actually.
It was like a series of 4 or something. None of them.
I saw the commercial on the internet on YouTube because someone that they put out a tender to for the music for the spot, but didn't get the job, put his music on it and aired it, put it on YouTube. So I ended up calling the producer and saying, "I just saw it. So you are airing it now?" And within an hour, it went from me to that producer, from that producer to Chicago, to the advertising agency, to that guy, whoever put it up. It's down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we didn't talk about my favorite.
What's your favorite?
Go.
Well, it happens to also, I think, be Alexa's job. I did I worked up in Algonquin Park. I think it was 2019. For 3 days, and it was just 12 hours of sideways driving. And it was
In the
all
snow.
in the snow all the way through all the trees through Algonquin. It was absolutely unreal. It was so much freaking fun.
With Tom Comet's drone.
Yeah, with Tom Comet's drone, with the Ukraine guys. And the director that I worked with, his name's Chris Brown, and we've worked now together on a few spots that have been a lot of fun. He does some really fancy shit.
I assume an SUV?
No, this was
Like a four-wheel drive vehicle.
no, it was
So
it was a
just a
three.
car?
No, it was a 350. What do you call them? 350i, whatever. Fuck, I don't even know what it's called. But it was a beast. It was an absolute beast. It wasn't what you drove.
So this wasn't snowy.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
it was.
Oh,
It was. It was interesting. Like they got me doing every single corner. They just said pitch it as much as you can the whole frickin' time, and I can't believe that I'm here doing this. And we were going. We were literally going. You know, the road isn't all that wide. It's a park road, and there's trees everywhere. And they're asking me to be as brave and crazy as I can be. And I had oh my God, why am I Jeff AD, first AD.
Oh,
His last name's slipping my mind for some reason. He's amazing. I love this guy. Anyway, he was in my car like the whole time we're driving, just basically shitting himself. It was awesome. You know, we had one moment where I was coming toward the end of the run, and you know, there's another road and a bit of stuff at the end, and obviously I got to ease up as we get closer. But they were kind of liking this corner, and I said, guys, I'm down to give it, but I got to be real careful around this area. So as we got to the end, I did a bit of a harder pitch than I probably should have, and I told Jeff, I said, we're going all the way around, so just hold on to your shit. So I didn't want to end up in the trees, so I went all the way 180, and I put it in reverse and just kept kind of going backwards, waving to Mark in the Ukraine, and it was super fun. It was actually it was ridiculous how great that job was.
Wow.
Never had to keep it straight. And it was fun, man.
Yeah. And you got paid.
And I got paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got paid to act like a complete idiot. And
But you know what? The way I look at it too, you give them what they want.
yeah.
That's our job, right?
Yep.
And you got to feel good about that. I'm always
right.
feeling good. And Randy, I know you're the same. Just when they say, wow, that was great. Good job. You guys, you did what we wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that always...
It is.
And I know we all agree it's not about us. It's fun for us, but when that director or
100%, man.
Says, you guys, that's like beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, the landing when you're done
yeah,
and you get to walk home or walk out of this going, Jesus, I did it all. I did it all. It was
Yep.
great.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy. That's a good feeling. For sure.
yeah. And I know we've all learned you can't be a cowboy. Just what they want you to do is what they want, and they want you to pick it up a bit.
You pick it up a bit.
Pick it up
If you don't, you have to be honest with whoever.
Yeah.
And maybe they're asking for something that you might say to them, this could happen. And they go, really?
Yeah.
And then you do that and they're ecstatic. So there's that as well. So sometimes you got to put them back, but sometimes you can pull them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But having said the thing about the cowboy, and going back to an earlier statement about everybody wants to be a stunt driver. Everybody.
Excuse me, guys, for a second.
We have every level of production approaches me the odd time and says, I'd really like to be a stunt driver. And I think what it is that they see the fun that you can have by squealing a car around. Now, what they do, they go back to what you said earlier again. They'll take their car into a parking lot in the snow and start pulling donuts. That is an uncontrolled donuts in the snow. And when we do it, there's camera, there's people, property, and so there's a difference.
Oh, big time.
So when people see it on screen, you go, oh, that's easy. It's like watching an actor act. I could do that. I can deliver those lines and look in her eyes. Well, not necessarily.
And if I could say one thing exactly along your lines.
It's your podcast. Go.
Yeah, shut up. Will you? It's hitting that mark.
Well, 100%.
Even if you do that slide, you're 30 feet away from where you should be.
Right.
It's,
yeah.
And I know you and I have, I'm sure everybody here.
Yeah.
Is, you got to do that slide and
100%.
you got to be within 4 feet and you're going, okay.
Well, either you're going to kill somebody or you're out of focus.
Right.
So let's do it again.
But hitting that mark is, those are the magic words that separate a guy in a parking lot from doing that same thing and not smashing another car or a camera. And I mean, I know we're all careful about people. There's many times when I've had to say, you guys move out of the way because I may need a runoff.
Of course.
They want you to come in hot to a camera, and then there's a whole group of them. So you go, leave me a space just in case.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, Andrew, we can hear Andrew in the office talking to Blair. So, but what's interesting about it is that, yes, you make it look easy, you make it look incredibly easy, and it's to someone looking on. The opener's over there, but on top of the TV changer. We're going to take a break for the pause. Pause for the cause. So what I'm getting at is that young people want to do the sexy stuff, the slides, the reverse 180s. They want to play a cop and take it down the street and then slide around a corner. I don't know what it is, but they want to do the sexy stuff. What I'm finding incredibly interesting is the number of people who don't endeavor to get their truck license. They don't know how to drive a transport truck. They don't know how to drive a big, 10-ton box truck. Get that, and then you will get work as a stunt driver in that vehicle. Mm-hmm. There's a young lady in Toronto who is a firefighter who drives big fire trucks. So who would you hire? Absolutely.
Right.
And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I'll repeat this till the day I die. If you cannot do in a vehicle with a standard transmission what you can do with an automatic transmission, stop calling yourself a stunt driver. Because invariably, as you well know, we'll get 5 identical cars on a commercial, and invariably
Identical cars.
Identical. It's a joke. But the two of them will be standard, and those are the ones the stunt guys have to drive with the rigs on them. So you do it once with the automatic, and anyway.
No, agreed.
Yeah, I've ranted on our Facebook about this on the stunt.
Yeah, the stunt,
well, I'm
stunt
sure
community page.
I'm sure we've all been in this position, and I'm not.
What position is that? Pouring beer in your
missionary?
Where someone has said they can accomplish a certain thing.
Oh my gosh!
And surprisingly, not even close.
Yeah, 100%.
And one was in my situation, driving standard. After a lengthy conversation about your comfort level driving a standard, no problem.
No way.
Yep.
You got somebody that did that.
And again,
should we throw him under the bus?
No.
Okay.
I can't do that. And I felt sorry for this person because, and again, I've probably told you guys this, but for those listening, when this person was asked to move this car, we all know driving standard that if it hiccups, what do? The answer is, and we do it automatically, you push the clutch in.
Oh, I see. Yeah, sure.
Right? If there's a little hiccup, right, boom.
Sure.
We all just do it like that.
Yeah.
Well, we did the bunny hop for about 2 car lengths.
Oh, no.
And I'm going, well, in my brain, clearly never has this individual touched a standard. And I'm just going...
Well, it's funny. We all talk about it, about... you want to put those on the floor, bud?
I guess.
People are going to think
unless
nasty
they're
things
going to sponsor
about
us
us.
in the wide shot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
I hesitate to use the word lying, but they lie.
Oh, Jim, take off your Mercedes hat. I'm going to take off my Roots shirt. And what do we do?
I'm going to leave my Randy Butcher shirt on.
Fuck
Yeah, I guess so. That's true.
I'm teasing. All right.
But just to me, I get it. We all want to work.
Yeah.
I've turned things down.
Yeah.
I had but you can't do that.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, is that it's one thing to get to set, know what you're doing, and maybe you fucked up. Something like that has happened for sure. But it's one thing to say you do something, get to set, only to
discover you don't.
Discover you just don't.
Like if you asked me to do a high fall, I'd go, unless it's 20 feet in a big bag and I land on my back.
Right. As a professional stunt performer, you know your limitations.
Absolutely.
And we shouldn't be lying about our skill set. And that's fine. So if somebody asked me right now to jump 7 stories into an airbag, I'm going to say no. I know people who do and are really good at it.
Yep.
Let's get them.
Yeah.
And
I don't want to hurt myself.
No, of course not. I got called to do
by landing flat on the cement, you mean?
Well, no, but even what if you land head first?
Well, that
even of course. If
thing.
You're not rehearsed or whatever, you don't know it.
But if you don't have that aerial awareness,
yep, Yep.
which I'm not going to pretend I do. I can jump off, like I said, 20 feet and land on my back. But if I'm careening in the air out of control and then
for sure.
no way,
Yeah, it takes some work.
without serious practice and coaching.
But see, just like there's specialists in
Yeah.
automotive work, and there's specialists in high fall work.
Yeah.
So, you know,
But my point is, you don't do that.
you don't.
Well, speaking of don'ts and doing, Blair actually mentioned to me earlier that about. I mean, I know you did some motorcycle stuff growing up,
Yeah.
you know, but he had talked about a slide where you actually had to dump the bike and slide it toward camera.
Yeah.
So tell us, can we talk a little bit about motorcycle stuff?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I'd rather talk about motorcycle stuff.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Yeah.
All motorcycle guys, but I'm not like a dirt bike guy. I ride a Harley.
Yeah.
I love my Harley.
Jimmy rides a Harley.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jimmy grew up riding some dirty stuff.
Yeah, but I'm not like some of these guys.
You're a road racer.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a commercial for I don't even know the name of the car. It was a overseas vehicle, and it was the Drop Everything event. So they decided they wanted to have
It's kind of fun
that's
already.
That's
Yeah.
actually kind of good.
these road racers, like sport bikes at Mossport.
Okay.
And so my friend Mr. Van Hart was coordinating. It was all good, by the way. Everything was great. He said, "Do you want to do this?" And I went, "Yeah, I can do that, because I know what's going to happen. I've done it by mistake,
Sure.
too fast into a corner on a
Yeah,
track.
100%.
So I know I have a mental feel of
Yeah.
how this is going to go down, because I do know how to drop a bike. I mean, you're on a corner, you just touch your brake, you're down just like that,
For sure.
you know. And, so I said, sure, okay, little knot in the throat, but go, yeah, I can do this. I do get to wear leathers, right? And so there's 5 of us, and of course, these are all pro racers with me. I'm 50 years old at this point, and very comfortable on a bike. But if we had actually raced, these guys would have smoked me.
Right.
But so we're going around the track, and I wasn't the guy leading. I was second or third in the pack, and the idea was that all of a sudden one guy slides right towards the camera, gets up, runs off the track, jumps over the little concrete fence, and runs out into the field, keeps going. So that was the spot. But I will tell you guys, what was creepy about it for me was you don't really get to do a practice.
Well, yeah, that's another bike,
Yeah. So
possibly.
definitely. So, okay, we're ready to go. We're all radioed up, and we're on the track, and my heart's kind of going, why did I say yes? But I knew I could do it. I did. Believe me, I wouldn't have, But my brain is spinning.
The director is going, why is he praying?
Yeah. So it was on the oval where they shot this spot,
Yeah.
just for ease of.
Okay.
And we'd come around, and the radio's tucked in under my leathers, so I can hear with a headphone. He says, "Okay, ready, and oh, I'm coming into the turn now." He says, "Wait. The light's not right. Right, the sun would go out. Something would happen."
Okay.
4 times,
Wow.
and I'm saying, "Please, let's just."
See, the prayers come.
Yeah.
Let's just do this, right? Let's just get this done, But that was probably the most anxious part of that whole thing. And then finally we get the go-ahead and to complete it, and again into the turn, and I'm looking at the camera, and there's a wall there, and there's lots of room, by the way. This isn't like I got to avoid the wall. And I drop the bike. Little bang on the shoulder. I'm fine. Mm-hmm. And I'm sliding, which is exactly what they wanted. The bike goes one way. I'm sliding. Then I get up and I do the run. and everything went well. I did give my shoulder a bit of a whack, and I said, yes, when I go down, I got to turn. Right.
The things you learn.
So they wanted to do it again. So I said, no problem.
Same bike?
I think they did.
Well, if nothing breaks, what?
Yeah, like it would have hit the end of the handlebar. It didn't break any brake levers or clutch. So anyway, we did it again, and I got to tell you, by sheer luck, I do it again. I go down, and this time he says, I want you to, when you're sliding, to do a quick rollover and slide. So same thing. I go down. This time I turn my shoulder so it doesn't crash into the ground. Because in my brain, I'm going, technically, I'm only falling 2.5 feet.
Right, but pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah. And we weren't going crazy. Maybe, I don't know, 50K, 40K. So it wasn't like we were screaming. Anyways, the bike slid. I did my thing and rolled. And I ran. But here's the cool part. The bike ends up 4 feet from the camera with the back wheel just going.
So they got gold.
Oh, they got gold.
Oh my God!
Total luck. I had no control over that.
But you said you did.
I did, of course. Are you kidding?
How'd you like where I put the bike?
Is that better? But
That's awesome.
That was one of those. Should I? Shouldn't I? I should be able to do that. That's. We're not going off a jump and landing in a canyon. It's, and again, I've dropped bikes on the track many times, so I'm familiar with the sensation. If he had asked me to high side, it would have said, no, thank you.
Yeah, it's a different ride.
Yeah.
Big time.
But no, and of course, after the first one, even though there was a little bit of pain, I went, okay, there. Got it. Now I can calm down. And
well, therein lies a bit of a difference between the average person who rides a motorcycle who wishes they were a stunt motorcycle rider and a stuntman who is a motorcycle rider, in that the bang on the shoulder, take two, yeah, why not? The first thing I ask stunt people, the people that want to be stunt people, I say, so what's your sport? Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
I want to know if you're a hockey player, a football player. I don't, I'm just asking, because what's really important is that I need to know that you can take a bump and you're not going to bellyache about it when you get up, and that you're going to do take 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Mm-hmm. Despite the fact you got a little bump and it's a little annoying, it's important.
Well, of course, the first thing I did was to see if I could still swing a golf club.
Of course.
Because I went, okay, I'm good. All right, yeah, okay, I can do that. I was terrified.
That's hilarious.
Have you done much else with bikes in terms of commercials and TV and stuff?
Basically, no. However, I did do, and again, I think you guys may know about this. One of the very beginning of my career, if you want to call it that, with Bobby, was doing a jump on a dirt bike where it went through, not literally, 4 minivans. So what you see is that the guy goes off a jump, he lands in the door of one. There's 4 minivans side by side.
Mentioned this to me before.
I've got some pictures, and it goes right through. Mm-hmm. So I had to do the first jump. Now, clearly, first of all, I'll back up a bit by saying the reason they were shooting this spot was because this was the very beginning of 2 sliding doors on these.
Okay.
On the little Dodge Caravans.
Okay.
Before that, there was only a door on one side. So they wanted to accentuate the two doors.
Yeah.
So what we did was we had me doing the big jump, cut, and then they had a kid with identical gear, small little 80, same color, everything the same, that would actually ride through.
Oh.
It fit.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So they just sort of cheated it.
They cheated it.
Okay.
But
interesting.
And that was a very fun spot because they let me train the kid. Mm-hmm. So I built jigs,
What-
the exact same size as the doors.
Oh, okay.
And he came to my place. They brought a minivan or two so I could, play with them. And I got him to ride through. I just made 2x4 jigs the exact same size as the door to see if he could. There was about that much room. That's about it on
Yeah.
each side of his little handles. So if we had to, change things or
Sure.
maybe tighten the suspension down for height. And so we practiced that, and then we shot in a warehouse near, I'm going to say, where Fort York is, just north of that. In fact, I think that old warehouse is still sitting there. What's that area called there?
Toronto.
Is that Liberty Village?
Richmond. Oh, Fort York. Oh,
It's my
maybe.
stomach again. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I will tell you a funny story, which I was sort of proud of myself. The issue they had was they wanted this kid to drive through these vans, and as he's driving through, to pick up a thing of Coke that was in one of the cup holders.
Like a cup?
Yeah,
A soft cup?
pick up a cup.
He's riding
He's riding through.
through a van, all four.
4 vans, so there's a...
You have a floor, right?
There's a floor. Yeah, he's not jumping, he's just...
Yeah.
Right? He's got to go through, grab the cup. So they've got a camera set in one of the vans where here he comes, he reaches, grabs the cup, and he comes out of frame.
Okay.
With like his throttle hand? Or-
Yeah.
How old is this kid?
12.
Okay, so now was this is a special that you got, right? They rolled this camera, he came in from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, all sorts of
So
questions.
their dilemma was, how can he can't ride the bike through. He's got to take his hand off the throttle.
Right.
And they're talking about setting up a track system and pulling him through. And I
Okay.
normally
Yeah, well.
keep my mouth shut. But I thought I have an idea. And again, I may have told you guys
Well,
this.
he had an idea.
I had an idea. So I took the
You
kid.
don't have many of those.
I don't. I
I've
admit.
known you a long time. You don't?
Muckety muck.
And I said, I took a chair and I put the cup on it and I lined him up and I pushed him.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
And he went by, grabbed the cup, and I said,
Yeah. No offense. I was going to
So
say
easy.
just push him.
Yeah.
oh, they had all these mechanical things they were going to set up. And I'm going, it's got to be simpler than that. And again, I'm not trying to be a smart ass here. It was one of those things that I thought they just need to see him for 3 seconds
100%.
going by.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but this is another good reason to have you here. I
It
think
is.
you
That's
understand
why.
these
That's
things.
why.
So I can,
Yeah.
I can school.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. See, that's why a good stunt coordinator
Yeah.
is on set.
100%.
And anyway, so I talked to the first AD. I said, I know this isn't my place. However, I may have a solution. And I tell him, and he goes,
You
just
could
a
do
minute,
that?
just a minute. So, he's sitting in van 2 or 3. I just give him a little push
100%.
right through. Bang, they get the shot.
How wonderful.
Like they would have taken 2 hours to set this up, and I'm thinking, something here just doesn't make sense. And you thought of it right away, but it was funny. They were just way overthinking the whole thing. And the bike was in neutral running,
Sure.
but it was one of those little moments of,
What's a kid
it
do with the
worked.
cup?
I guess I think it was to,
No, but what's he do with it after?
well, remember, they just see him picking it up. That's it. So I guess they
So,
want
but on the day when you pushed him, the kid's got one hand on the handlebar.
Yeah. Where did he end
You're
up?
pushing. Did he just put his hand up on to steady
Yeah,
himself?
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
He just fell over.
Because once he picked up and left shot, that was it. And I think the cup was probably empty,
A number of years ago, I had to do a thing with Andrew on a bicycle
Yeah. Yeah.
and high handlebar bicycle, banana seat.
The old Mustang bikes. That's what we called them.
That's what it was, wasn't it? Or was it a...
It
Probably
was-
different names, but
I don't. Yeah, did it have that vibe to it?
But he had to drive down the street with these two great big Slurpee cups in his hand. How do you control your bike? And it's just nuts. And then he got shot with,
I got shot with a whole whack of paintballs.
and then just had to fall.
I came out of it just welted from neck down.
Like for real? Did
Oh
you
yeah,
have that?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
That stuff hurts.
After the first one, I put a pad over my my junk because I had some
You had
welts
junk back
on my
then?
thigh there. Yeah,
So they had dropped. Oh,
Finally, come on, Jim. Jesus,
bit personal here.
This is
Sorry,
just a few
gang.
years ago. Yeah,
yeah, this is just
that's hilarious.
took me a while. Whatever.
You know,
Anyway.
there's not a lot of motorcycles. I've never done a Harley commercial. If anyone's listening, love to. I don't think I've ever done a commercial for an actual motorcycle company, other than I did a Big Dog Chopper commercial years ago. But that's
Yeah, I remember. And you
that's
had to
it.
slide that thing.
Well, I didn't
right?
slide it. I had to turn it pretty sharp, and
Oh, okay.
they're not that easy to do.
Yeah, no.
I actually did do another one too, a Suzuki spot.
But so
Oh.
like a Suzuki proper, like
Yeah.
okay.
Up
Okay.
in Muskoka.
Oh, well, they put you in some leathers and you had to drive what?
Myself and the young Jones boy.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
We were,
Riley,
no,
Braden.
Dad.
Oh, literally Jamie.
Yeah.
The not youngest one.
Yeah.
Well,
of all of them.
by comparison,
And again, this was probably 20 years ago.
right?
Right.
But
Interesting.
and that was fun because there was a couple of high-speed flybys where they put a camera up on one of the rock cuts. I think Jamie did that one because there was a Hayabusa and I had like a sports bike. But
Yeah.
that just, and again, it was nothing, like it was fun, but so there was. So I guess technically that would be 3 times that I was on camera on a motorcycle.
You ever driven a Hayabusa?
I've driven.
I don't think so.
Have you ever driven anything that is competitive to it?
Have
or
you ever?
anything?
Well, I
High?
raced.
No, I know you race. So
Well, this was like a GSXR 750 that I was on.
right.
Oh, it rocked.
Yeah,
But
okay.
it wasn't like the Hayabusa. Straight line speed, the Hayabusa, what was it, like 140 horse or something?
Yeah.
So,
Fucking crazy.
yeah, the GSXRs back then were 80, something like that.
Okay.
And the reason I remember is because super bikes were around 110 horsepower
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
Right back in the late 80s. And I remember thinking, now you can go buy a bike out of the box with like 150 horsepower that'll do 195 miles an hour.
And there are people buying them as their first bike.
Yep.
You know, Dad, this is what I want, and my God, your mistakes are multiplied by 1,000.
They put the buy and bike.
Yeah. I've always thought strongly about that. And again, I know I keep saying this. I can't remember if I've told you guys about it, but probably in the 80s, I'll never forget a newspaper article I saw. And some kid got a VMAX. And like 2 days after his birthday, he was going up Scarborough Golf Club Road. And he forgot that it'll get to 100 in 4.5 seconds. But they don't stop that quick.
Yeah.
And a car pulled out in front of him, cut the car in half. Two people in the car killed. Him and his girlfriend killed. Bike was literally just part of the car. You could hardly distinguish. It was just a ball of junk.
Jesus.
Holy.
And it was the perfect example of inexperience where if you're going to do that, you know, he obviously got on it and give her. And then it's like, whoa.
It's fun to show off that I can do this.
But I can't stop.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, do it on a country road somewhere where nobody's going to pull out of a driveway. If you have the desire to get on it a bit. But
even then, I mean.
Oh, yeah. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I always say, pick your places to play. If you're going to.
I totally agree.
You know, when I'm in my car, if I decide that, you know, maybe I'll get on it a little bit, I'll pick a spot that's no way anybody's getting in my face. You know, you're talking about maybe going up to 400 when you can't see a car for, you know, but I'm not saying, of course,
No,
I
I'm
don't
with you.
condone doing that, but you got to pick your places if you're going to do something
You know, I was
like that.
on my
Right, Randy?
Sorry.
It's going to get edited, isn't
No,
it?
no, you have this beautiful hot car, and Andrew and I were coming home from work one.
oh man.
We were on the 401.
I remember.
Well, speaking about giving her, we said, "Who's driving this car like that?"
You don't always run them at 120 miles an hour.
I know, but it's so funny. We pulled up beside the car, and it's you. We're so wicked.
Actually,
I remember that. That was on the 407.
Yeah.
it was on the 407, and you were actually kind of in the other lane.
Yeah, you were in
for
our
a minute, and I remember he goes, "Wouldn't you shit if that was Jim?" 4 seconds later,
The trouble is, this is my philosophy. That car,
Yeah.
when there's no traffic,
Yeah.
you're a sitting duck.
Oh, by the coppers? 100%.
You're running 100 miles an hour, which your truck is nothing. Like, it's 160K. You're just a sitting duck. Whereas if I technically run quicker when there's more traffic, because you're not going to stand out.
Well, you're flying with them.
Yeah. So if you're going 10 or 20K quicker, you don't.
No, it makes sense.
Just
You
don't
know,
be the guy at the back.
But that road, there was nobody on that road. So I was, what was I doing? 110, 120. And I wasn't in a hurry. But I thought, I saw you guys coming.
You look like you didn't even want to drive. It was-
you just
I was
buckety muck.
listen to the tunes. Right.
that was hilarious.
I give her a little shot every once in a while just for fun.
For sure, man.
But no, to me, that's, all you need is one guy sitting up there at the time you decide to,
Big time.
as you know, 5 seconds, you're doing 190,
Huh.
Yep. So you got to pick your places.
Well, speaking of which, I was on my motorcycle. I was with a buddy, and we were up. I don't even know exactly where. We were north of Guelph somewhere, kind of, where the Badlands are, or what are they called? The Badlands.
The
Do you know where that is?
yeah, I shot there so many times.
Kind of the ground almost. It's like a red rock. It looks like a scene out of a Mars movie.
North of Milton, Orangeville area.
Nice roads. Really.
Oh, I know Orangeville area. That
Yeah, it's
like that.
yeah,
Oh,
you're
the
right.
hills?
Really, yeah.
Yeah, they kind of got that up and down.
Yeah. What's it called? I know where you mean. Yeah.
So we were up there, and there was like a beautifully brand new paved road. And fortunately, it had been kind of a warm day, and I was just in my t-shirt, And then when we got to the Badlands area, we hopped out, we looked around, and when we got on our bikes again, put on my leather jacket. I was very lucky because I was probably doing maybe 90K, something like that, on a fucking straight ass road. You could see anything for miles, right? We had kind of come up over this hill, and all of a sudden it was just straight. And way the hell down there's a small, I think it's like a white S10, Chevy little truck, sitting at a stop sign coming out this way. It's the only other thing around. My buddy's behind me on his bike. And I'm going, man, why is this guy not going yet? He had more than enough time to go ahead of me. Right? Obviously, he's sitting there texting or putting a CD in or whatever the hell he was doing. And as I'm approaching, I'm now very wary of what's going on. I don't want to, you start to kind of slow down. You're like, why is this guy sitting there?
What's wrong with this
So
picture?
I'm waiting for that look. As soon as you get the look, you go, okay.
Right.
Now I think I'm clear. Well, he did. He looked over, and I went, oh, good. I'm golden. And just
no
kept
stop
cruising.
sign for you.
Nothing for me. He's on a dirt road like this at the stop, and I'm going straight. And I see him look directly at me, and I thought, I'm good. I'm just good to go. And then he went. He went right as I got there,
God.
and I missed his truck. I hit my brakes, and I'm standing on my bike like almost as if I'm trying to pull it backwards.
Yeah. Back wheels
And
coming off the ground.
my back wheel is going left, and I get past his truck by maybe an inch, or something like that. I couldn't believe that I didn't hit it. The best part was that he kept going.
So did you miss the back of it or the front?
Yeah, I missed the back of it,
Oh
like
my God.
just by a hair. And then I tried to give it some gas to just keep on going, but
settle it.
my back wheel went completely right. It just came back and went right. And now at this point I'm sliding, and I know I'm going down. There's no way I'm not. So
Isn't that a great feeling?
now fortunately I have the wherewithal, the sensibility to look
the
around
muckety-muck.
and on all stuff. Yeah. With all the muckety muck right now, I see like a fence, a ditch, a post, a pole. You know, I'm looking at everything. And I'm like, fuck it, and I just put my bike down and let my bike go, and it went way down the road, and I slid behind it. It went right through roadkill. I slid through roadkill. I had blood and like fur all up my back.
Oh my God.
It was a pretty nasty little thing, but fortunately, everyone's good. I'm good. Whatever. The guy gets out. He's almost in tears. This guy in the Chevy truck. Can't believe he just did what he did. My buddy's flipping out. I'm kind of like a little bit stunned.
Yeah.
So I'm, whoa, what the fuck just happened? And now my buddy's giving this guy hell. And I'm kind of going, it's all good. You know, the guy looks like he's going to cry. He knows he did wrong. That's right, I'm sure. But he says to me that he can't believe what he just did because his brother is the motorcycle safety like head of Ontario or some shit.
Oh my God.
Whatever that is. Yeah. But anyway, speaking of like,
So maybe he
That was
thought
some
you had a
random
stop
thing.
sign, I wonder.
I don't
Or
think,
did he
no,
just
I
gap?
I think that he
just
was
gapped.
sitting there. He was sitting there because it was so long. That stretch of road was so long.
Yeah.
He had more than enough time to go way ahead of me. And it's just a country road. It was his stop sign. I had no stop signs for days.
Right.
You know? And then I think he just, when he looked up, he wasn't thinking. I just think he wasn't thinking.
Yeah, he just gapped.
Did
out.
he say that he saw you?
No, he just didn't see me at all. He had no idea.
Because I'm going to tell you something.
Not that
Again,
I'm aware of anyway.
I was on my road, which is like rural, and I had one of those situations where I was the guy sitting in the truck. And I looked both ways, and I started to pull forward, and something caught my eye right there. And it was a motorcycle. And I went, oh my God.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
I stopped. But it shook me because I was looking for a car. My brain must have, because I'm telling you, I looked.
Yeah.
And then I started to move, and again, I saw that, and I went. So now I literally always, especially in the country, take two looks because it actually scared me that I missed it. And I mean, he would have broadsided me if I had pulled out as per.
Yeah.
And I just caught it. Like, I don't know if he had a light on. I don't remember. Like, you think, how could you miss that? How could you possibly miss that?
You can't ignore the fact that when you're on a motorcycle, you're entering a danger zone.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, you got to be expecting the worst all the time.
yeah.
But it shook me a bit that I missed that. Now, thank God I caught it and I stopped. But I could have just as easily pulled right, and he would have hit me right in the driver's door.
Yeah.
You know? So we would have had to delay this another couple of weeks, you know, probably. That was on the way
Well, that was
here.
recent. Damn.
So, Jim, if you had any advice for any young people wanting to get into the stunt business and do some stunt driving, do you have any advice for anybody that
Well,
listening to this?
certainly, and I think we're all in agreement. First of all,
Don't include me in your shit.
Evade the cops or don't evade the cops?
no, but use your head. Don't do stupid stuff on the road, and that's not because we got to be safe. Of course we do. You know, play in parking lots, play in dirt roads where there's no other traffic. But to me, I've always said play. You got to get out there and feel vehicles, all different vehicles. This is the beginning of, you know, a lot of us are, you know, we love this stuff and we love playing and we love driving. But when it comes to controlling, fine controlling of cars, especially if they're sliding and stopping, you know, you mentioned braking before hitting a person. That stuff is not as easy as it looks. Practice it. Practice everything. before you go out and, you know, attempt to try to get involved in the business. Your skills have to be somewhat honed. You know, it's like, again, me doing anything gymnastic. I'm a semi-athletic person, but that's not my thing. That's not my...
Right.
I would never go there. Just, you know. So stay in your comfort zone. Don't lie about your skills. And, you know, with any luck, maybe, I've always said to people, maybe if your skills are there, maybe you'll be able to be a double for somebody that might give you your first little break to, you know, it may not be sliding cars around corners, but, you know.
But you have said to me, and I think you kind of said this earlier, but you have said to me too that if you, like you take an interest in it, and that's a huge part.
Well, that's the thing, and I truly believe that, you know, some of us older guys that I've known, and, you know, you guys are included, but we've always been into this world, you know, and really enjoy it and love it. That's the thing. I love it.
It comes natural. It's not something we want to do. It's just part of what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about, I mean, I always loved hopping in the car.
Yeah.
I always loved driving. I was always the driver first when it was with friends.
Yep.
You know.
And it's I guess everybody can learn how to do this, but it helps if you've got that inner drive from an early age to just drive. You know, I know people that are, you know, in their 30s and don't have their driver's license. They couldn't care less.
See, now that's an interesting statement. It brings up something I thought of earlier, going back to actors and stunt people who, let's say, audition for car commercials and stuff like that, or they have to drive on something. We'll get a short list. I always ask for a short list. If you've got 3 people you're choosing from, let me speak to them. I need their phone numbers. I need to speak to them because you can't con a con.
Right.
I'll know somebody's bullshitting me within 30 seconds of the conversation.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Jesus. See, it took me 2 hours to figure this one out. But so my question is, and if I can't ask the question personally, I will have production ask the question, do you have a driver's license? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you drive a car on a daily basis?
Good question.
Because a lot of actors, though they have a license, they use public transit because they live in a big city and there's no need to own a car. So if you rent a car 3 times a year because you're going away for a weekend, and that's the extent of your driving skills or experience, you're not my person. Especially if you're driving with a rig and a camera and you have a camera operator and a director in the car with you. You know, it's pretty important. So I need to know that you're an actual driver of a vehicle. You own one and you drive all the time.
That's a very good question.
Yeah, I
like
know.
That.
I know, Jim. I'm a professional.
No, but I'm saying I
Just it's so fucking easy.
But I don't think I've done that. I've always asked about a driver's license and what kind of experience they've had. But I can tell you now, although I do believe my son is a very good driver.
Yeah.
He doesn't drive now. He's downtown. His car's sitting at home.
See, there you go.
He hasn't technically driven for 2 years.
Yeah.
And right now he's a city person because he's living downtown.
And I was just going to call him for a spot next week.
No, but he's good, man. I'm telling you. Like, seriously.
No, I know, Spence, it wouldn't be a problem, but yeah, I get it.
But there you go. That's the lifestyle you're talking about right there.
That's correct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it never really clicked with me before until, you know, his car's been sitting in the driveway since a year ago, September.
Yeah.
He says, I just take public transit or a bicycle.
I hope he's paying
It's
storage.
easy as fuck.
Oh, yeah, big time. $600 a month.
Nice.
Yeah, good.
Well, you know. But, yeah. And, you know, they'll go skiing on a weekend and usually take his girlfriend's car.
Yeah.
But that's very true.
Well, we'll
You
call
know.
her.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we'll call her.
Yeah. No, but that's a very valid point, because I'm sure a lot of these
Yeah,
young people live downtown somewhere.
Can you drive? Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Because that's the extent. Can you swim?
There are a lot of questions about stunt
Sure,
driving from people who don't actually own a car,
Yeah.
and it's a bit of a
Yeah, it's mind blowing.
it's just a hard one to deal with. I mean,
But as a stunt coordinator, you get that all the time. Like I say, can you swim?
Yeah.
Sure, I jump in my
Can
pool.
you drive standard?
But I jump in my pool every weekend,
Yeah.
and I can make it from where I fall off the diving board to the edge. That's not
How
swimming.
long can you tread water and
Yeah.
yeah. No, but that's yeah. But again, when you get, I'm going to say, deceived once or twice, you start to, it almost gets to a point where, depending on the nature of what you're shooting, you might want to see some visual
Yeah.
examples of, I don't know, just
What's unfortunate is that, as according to our union rules, you cannot perform a stunt in an audition. So you can't audition by driving. So when you audition, they're going off your look and performance. I did a commercial years ago where we had a whole bunch of little Mazda Miatas decked out as bumper cars. So we're actually driving down the road bumping.
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was fun. So the young lady that got the job, driving the car as the star of the commercial, when she arrived, she was in costume, and I said, "Hi, my name's Randy. I'm your stunt coordinator. Can I introduce you to your vehicle, please?" And I walked over to her car, and she goes, "Oh, is that a stick shift?" I don't drive standard. I said, "Oh, you don't?" Then my mind started going, well, we can maybe switch cars. Those little things lift off the car and put on a different one. And she says, well, I don't really drive. And I said, so what do you mean? You don't drive anything ever? Nothing?
bicycle.
Right on her head sheet, driving, automatic and standard. She
Wow, really?
Yeah. So I'm not
Why
saying
would that even?
I don't
Why?
have any clue why that would happen.
And she knew it was part of the spot.
100%. Guess who wore a dress and a wig?
I've done it.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
for that
we
reason.
can't do it anymore, but yeah.
For that reason. Well, also, you're there. You're shooting.
Yeah, I will again if I have to.
Yeah.
Because it's right there.
Yeah. Well, I saw you at the, where was the name of that bar?
Yeah.
Never mind. I guess you were shooting a spot that night.
Yeah, that's right. Well, all those hidden
All the
cameras.
cameras, yeah.
You got to do something about those legs. Time for a shave, buddy.
Well, that was funny. I was wearing pants. That's funny.
Yeah, and yeah. Just that you can't do that.
No.
But that situation I was telling you about, I had to. Now, they were going to wig me anyway,
Yeah.
because I had to do a very aggressive slide.
Yeah.
But this other person was supposed to do some of the running shots, because there were two females.
Yeah.
Well, look.
Anyway,
Hey, man. Long story short, I did some wigging. I did some wigging, and I got in shit for it, and it was called wigging, and that was the first time I ever found out this was wrong.
I think you were the.
And it's funny
I think
because
you
it was
were the beginning of that.
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
sense.
The turn.
Because Randy, as you know, how many years did
I won't post them all, but
Yeah, but it's
Oh, but dozens.
But it's funny because most of the people that kind of gave me some grief had all done it. All of them had done it themselves.
absolutely both
And
male
all-
and female.
Yeah,
Backwards.
all of them, every one of them. And I just went, man, what the fuck
Yeah.
did I? And nobody asked me what I did. Nothing. They just blamed. They just pointed fingers and all this shit. It was a really silly.
Can I ask,
moment.
was this after the fact? Like,
Yes.
you did the job.
Oh, sure.
Actually, I was on the job when I got like the first bit of shit
From someone there.
from. It started with somebody who was there,
and then it.
and it literally spread like wildfire. And I started getting shit from somebody else over my phone, over text. And I went, what the fuck did I do? And I'm sitting here thinking, like, what has happened? Because nobody was defining at all,
Of course.
what I had done. Nobody told me what I was doing wrong. Yeah, and it was kind of. I look back at it now and I just laugh, because it was. The thing is at the time I'm sitting here worried, thinking this is going to affect my future, it's going to affect my career, this and whatever. But now I look back and go, man, the lack of common sense and the lack of anyone doing their due diligence to figure out what actually happened on the day. I didn't just throw on a wig for no reason. There was all kinds of trouble that day that we ran into, and I was asked, it all just happened so fast. Doesn't matter, but yeah.
Well,
and I was the Wigan guy.
Well, I can back you in the sense that, and Randy knows this better than anybody. Still to this day, when I'm on set, I get crew saying, "Where's your wig?" Because literally, not half, but probably,
I know.
1 out of 4 commercials I would do.
Yeah.
Because I've got a fairly small stature, and I said stature.
Yeah.
You could throw a wig on me, and I'm not, like 240 pounds, so it would kind of work. And if you're seeing a silhouette, and I'm obviously very happy to do it.
I've denied a million of them since.
We never thought twice about it.
Yeah, but no.
Right?
So my argument would be this, and I will argue this till the cows come home. You're not a stunt double in a car.
No.
You are a stunt driver in a car. And usually we have darkened windows, like a
tinted style.
Tinted style of windshield as well. But the shadow that you might have come through the window has to be the similar shape, the silhouette. Thank you. So if you are a stunt double in a commercial television show or a movie, that means that your personage is actually on screen doubling the actor.
The hero.
The hero. So when you're in a vehicle doing running footage, sliding, doing whatever, your personage is not being
acknowledged.
Right.
Not, so you're not a stunt double. You're just a stunt driver in a car. If you have to get out of that car, if you slide a car to a stop and then you have to get out and fall down, then I would have a stunt double
do
brought
the
in
fall.
to do that in the fall, right? And that would be whatever sex necessary, dressed in the same fashion, right? But otherwise, you're not a stunt double in a car. You're a stunt driver. So what I do is I hire for skill and experience, not look.
Yeah.
Because in a sense, look doesn't come into it. Thank God.
Correct. Yeah. Or sex. It doesn't matter. To me.
Yeah. And you've always said that. I know you've said that you want.
It has to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. No, and that was, I think, ironically, it's funny we're talking about it. I think that was the beginning of, that whole...
The downfall of the
industry.
industry.
And I mean, I was right there in the beginning of a very... But it's become a very woke business in general, in a lot of ways. And I'm not saying that a female didn't deserve the job.
We're not judging.
Whatever the hell. But, it's at a point now where you can't even play, handicap if you're not handicapped. Or you can't...
Yeah.
You can't even voice the car. It's one. If you're the voice of a puppy that's a blue, you can be anybody. But if you're the voice of a black character in a cartoon or something, you can't be white.
Right.
Et cetera, et cetera. It goes all the way down the line. And I, when I look back, I think I was right at the beginning of all this craziness,
You were.
you know, and it's hard to tell where's right, where's wrong, all this stuff. But man,
I
see it
honestly,
coming, I'll
you
tell you
know,
that.
I know we're going to close this off soon, but
What's that?
so we'll
We're gonna have, yeah, we're gonna have to pause this one.
we're going to. I'll cut this out because Blair's just run upstairs to pee.
This is it.
Okay, let's go again. Okay, let's go again.
It's going again.
Going again.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
So you said you had a joke.
So, just to see if I can start this properly, I'll use the old Randy version where this friend of mine is having trouble remembering names. And so he goes to his doctor and says, "Listen, I don't know what's going on. I can't remember names. You know, we play tennis with these people, and I
Into
keep
the
forgetting.
microphone.
Oh, and we keep forgetting the names." He says, "Listen, this is what you do. You have to associate their name with something so that it'll bring back that name." So he says, okay. He says, "I'll try that." So he's with his wife, and somebody goes by, can't remember their name, and he goes to his buddy. He says, what's that flower with the prickly thing?" And his buddy says, "Rose." He says, "Rose, can you ask that guy what his name is?"
Oh, that's cute.
I don't know if I did it right, but
No, that's good.
He didn't even know his wife's name.
yeah,
That's
there
cute.
you go.
That's cute.
Thank you.
I get it. I get your humor. That's awesome.
Come on, Randy, you got to have one.
Well, my favorite joke of the week, and not everyone's really responsive to this, but I love this joke. You know, my family, we've always been into guns, and a number of years ago, my father bought a handgun to protect us 5 children.
Right.
And then about a year later, he got rid of that gun to protect us 4 children.
How many are left now?
I love that joke. It's wrong. It's
It's a
really
good joke, but I have heard it 16 times this week. So
That's an Anthony Jeselnik movie.
yeah, that's Anthony Jeselnik.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, anyway,
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Jim.
So
Before we do wrap things up, would you do us the honor?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You
thank
want me to draw a picture?
yeah,
whatever you want.
Oh, you want me to write my name down?
yeah.
Well, you know, that's a part of it.
Come on over here and do something in the plane.
All right. Oh, my goodness. Jeez.
Oh, Jesus, he's gonna write a book.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
Well, he got the first part right anyway.
Yeah, he did.
To the awesome butchers.
What are your names again?
Yeah, that's just the big old Sharpie scratching across the table for those listening.
It's not very good names.
Oh, that's wicked.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Going again. Jesus, does he think we have so much time? What?
What's that last part there?
That can be enough ink for his signature.
Does that say gays? Oh, it says guys.
Love it. Thanks, Jim.
My pleasure.
Jimmy, thank you, man.
41.
Beautiful.
Love it.
My pleasure, guys. It's been awesome. Thank you.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, hey, listen, we've been through so much. The reminiscing is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could go on forever.
Yeah. Had a lot of fun. A few nervous spots.
Yeah, yeah. Like before.
But that's
That's the good
part of the excitement.
Yeah, that's
that's-
the good stuff. If you weren't nervous,
You know, like,
boring.
again, we don't. Are we done?
Yeah, keep going.
No, we're done. We're not done yet.
Okay. Well, no, but
We're done when you
but
shut up.
having your support, and I'm talking about in a specific. I'll never forget the privilege you gave me doing the thing with the stunt with Blair with the cars in. We did last year, 2 years ago. Sorry.
Blair, do you remember this?
Where you hit me. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Mayor of Kingstown.
Thank you.
In the
Oh man, that was awesome.
yeah, it was a great spot.
But you absolutely kept me calm because I know I'm about to get broadsided by a Cadillac, and I just said, Randy, if you're good with everything here, I'm perfect.
Yeah, thanks for your trust, Jim. I
Yeah,
appreciate
and
it.
you said you're good.
Never heard
this
anything.
roll cage. Oh, I know.
And
but
I
it-
remember you telling me, "Fuck nothing."
But it really, it helps. I know that's all part of the deal, but, I would trust you with my life, literally. And I was absolutely thrilled to do that. But, to hear the words helps, and it was kind of a cool thing
It
because
was a great scene,
And again,
it worked out so
I've
well.
told people about that and the fact that we were blind till the very last second and a half.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was the creepy part about it.
Yeah, that was you and Blair, and that worked
Yeah.
out so well. But
And I got to give Blair, I think, the lion's share of the credit because he was the guy hitting the right end of the car.
yeah,
I just kind of.
but the thing too
But
is
the timing,
you had to be there,
yeah,
and I think it was the stunt coordinator's expert ability to
yeah.
set
Who
up
was
that
again?
shot.
Andrew, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, but all those things through the years are, help you.
Yeah,
And I know we were well protected, but it was an awesome because you're doing things that you go, I shouldn't be doing. Like we're going to crash cars.
not natural.
Exactly, but it's so exciting.
Yeah,
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
I love it. It's
and production was tickled.
Indeed.
yeah.
It was a great shot.
And I'll tell you, the only thing I was afraid of was making sure I hit that button.
Well, that's the point. That's the point. You guys did this awesome blind hit that spun you around, and you pushed that button. That back hatch opened up, and the drugs popped out. Have you seen the shot?
I did.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
The timing was impeccable.
He caught me perfectly.
Yeah.
And all I could remember is the second I see his front bumper, I know I got about half a second. And I just held my hand there with my, because I said, I'm not going to do this. I'm going in like this because that's going to screw the whole shot up if that doesn't open.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But anyway, that was so awesome. That was,
Yeah, to be honest, it wasn't about the crash. It was about the drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but again, the spin around because he caught the back end of the car just perfect.
It was awesome.
Thank
It's
you,
fun.
Blair.
It's fun to be there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyway,
It was great day.
so thank you for your support and your continued
Love.
love.
Awesome.
Love you guys.
Yeah.
Love you back, buddy.
Both awesome
back.
guys. And you too, Blair. You're amazing. Just because you're not sitting here, I keep forgetting.
Yeah, Blair's the man.
Yeah, oh,
Absolutely.
yeah. All right.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Jim.
You on me, Blair?
Love it, man.
I am. Go over.
All righty. Well, cut it, B.